that off.
We're live.
Woo.
Yay! Hello, everyone.
Silence. Yay. Hey.
Happy Child Passenger Safety Week.
Woo.
Woohoo.
I have my latch manual earrings on. You can't really see them, but
No, seriously? Get out. Latch manuals here. Did you make them?
No, I got them at Kids in Motion.
Carissa make them?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have my little bitty blue boosters.
Very good.
I feel like I'm lacking here. I have no.
You have the wall of car seats behind you.
Yeah, you have a wall of car
seats. And I'm not going to do a 360 view, but because the storage room right now is a mess. But I'm looking at probably 150 car seats, like just.
All right.
Maybe she's got you beat, sir. You got competition.
60.
That's fine.
I got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, my car seat hoarding tendencies started pretty early on. So I'm looking at some seats that 2006, 2007.
How old is that blue Britax behind you?
So that is a decathlon that Jack rode in. And wow. Jack's born in 04. That's probably in 05, 06.
Nice. Vintage. Yeah.
I bought it specifically for that cover, which was called Hampton.
I remember Hampton.
And
it's kind of giving the Julius Kleck.
Oh yeah.
I never had any Julius Kleck stuff, but I agree. And honestly, what's it going to take for us to get fun covers again? I mean, what's sort of like Congress? Jamie's shaking his head now.
That is aggressive right there. I would love to jazz up some car seats, make them fun, and crazy prints also hide spit up really well.
Yeah, they do. So my devil's advocate here is if you get really, really attached to your color or your print and something happens to it and you need a replacement and it's out of stock, please be kind to your customer service people because
it should be like a favorite stuffy where you just buy 19 of them in case your kid ever loses it. You can pull out another Boo Boo Bear or whatever. And
one to wash, one to wear, one to spare. That's important.
Correct.
Yeah, Brittany.
But no, and that was my other thing was I bought everything neutral for my first child because I'm like, I don't know if I want the big ticket items to last from kid to kid. Look at that.
Yes, Kecia. That is fantastic.
Is it sea stars? Is that what that is?
Huh?
Is it like sea stars or like flowers or
flowers?
Nice. I had a sand dollar print Britax come in a couple of years ago.
The couture collection.
Mm-hmm.
In the early to mid 2000s, Lord knows I love Britax, but they had some choice fashions. They had some choices there. That was a fun time in retail.
Okay, I feel like I need to go back and look. Darrell, I think Costco posted a reel yesterday or today that was a very interesting fashion. And it looked almost like a quilt.
Really? Well, I must have missed that.
Was it the quilt or was it?
It looked like those quilt squares that you quilt.
Granny squares. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Maxi Cozy?
No. It was Costco.
Was it? But it wasn't pink.
No, it was almost like maroon. It was really interesting. I was like, hey, what is happening here?
I have seen I'm
going to have to go find that.
Do we love my Cincinnati Marriott lamp?
Yes, it's beautiful.
I want to show you something, but I need Jack to bring it. Jack, did he leave me? I think he did.
Where did you?
When he comes back, I'll make him grab. Oh, there he is. Garçon. Bring me Bring me the Americana seat from the corner. I want to show them that.
Oh,
That's
I'm worried.
One.
Oh, is this
very
the
concerned.
It's not the astronaut.
It's not the
the
astronaut.
non-compliant?
I'm going to move out of the way.
I want to see it. Oh, Jamie's about to like.
So
Yes.
Oh,
Look at that, buddy.
Look at that beautiful.
Oh,
I think I'm allergic to that.
Nothing is more Americana than a CCC sticker in the back.
wow. Yes, that really offsets the
Say,
red,
this was
white,
a
and blue.
non-compliant but highly colorful.
Right? Like nothing.
When you do up the
better
chest
than
clip,
the-
like an eagle screeches.
yeah.
I don't think it even has but like it should. We can make sensor safe. Why can't we make it screech?
I don't know. That'd be a really good indicator. Like, you hear the eagle scream, it's on.
But I mean,
I
how
love that.
the irony of that seat wrapped in a red, white, and blue cover that is made for China market. Like, the irony was not lost on me. I thought that was pretty great. But like, why do the Chinese kids have all the fun? Like, why do our kids get just black and gray, but Chinese kids get stars and stripes? And
I feel like we're getting some more fun. You know, Graco's got the pink.
They've gone wild.
The light purple and the Flint, the blue. You know, we're starting to get some color options back. Holly's like, no, we are not.
On behalf of Canada, the retailers here don't buy them.
Sorry.
So we don't get them. Like, they don't order them.
Are you at least getting like sandy, taupey kind of colors?
Very
cafe,
rarely.
latte.
Like, for example, the Romer Junie, we can't get the pearl fashion.
Wow.
Like, there's only 2 fashions and we can't get one of them.
Wait, is pearl the super like cream color?
Yeah.
One, the very light one.
Yeah.
The pretty one.
The pretty one.
Yeah, it's so pretty, but like I wouldn't actually let a child in that seat. I would just want to.
I have
it in the corner of
my daughter
house
was in the snow clack for like 2 years, and I just
but at least those had
on
Krypton
a live
fabrics.
stream actually because it was still clean.
Oh, okay.
How did you do that?
And she's the feral one.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it was the feral one too. That's I'm impressed. Well done.
Yeah, me too.
To all of you.
Well done to that fabric.
I mean, speaking of Kleck, even they've dumped their like bright colors. At least we could have gone. We usually could go to Kleck and be like, oh, they have some bright colors. They have the pink. They have no, they're doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Samio.
I know. I see Sam, and I'm hoping that.
Sorry.
She's making a Samio.
I'm looking for her.
That's why she opted for the peppercorn instead of pearl. It's a scary color for a travel system.
Yeah. Yes. Pearl is lovely. I mean, it photographs beautifully.
Yep.
Like that's the color that I would want to have, for a photo shoot.
A really nice couple won that travel system today at the event. And like whenever we do all the giveaways for the strollers, I teach them how to fold the strollers in the wagons so they can get them in their car, you know. So they're all in line, and like I get to the Turum, and I'm like, so this one's really easy. It's like a dual trigger. There are triggers on the side. He's like, I get easily triggered, so this will be fine for me. And I was like, great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Easily triggered.
That's funny.
Easily triggered.
Amazing.
All right. Jack just brought me something else. I'll bring it into view.
Oh no, what is it?
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I see 90s.
Oh, pure 90s.
I absolutely love that. That's Solo Cup.
That's giving the max.
It's a white shell.
Lisa Turtle had a jacket made out of that.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Now, Kecia, have you seen my 97 on my way? That was where
I did.
The navy with the celestial.
Wow.
Like, I would have eaten that up.
I would buy that now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And actually, my first kid's car seat wasn't on my way, like circa 1997. It was navy, but it was not the celestial print. I want to say it was like had some sort of almost polka dotty material, but definitely was not celestial. But yeah, that's an on my way also. And I found that on my way in a pile of seats in like a church that was almost like pantry kind of stuff. They give out baby gear. And so there was this pile of stuff that included like high chairs and bouncy seats. And I'm like, I see that fabric like peeking out from the bottom of the pile. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's on by. I pick it up like it's, Lion King.
I had to go back and pick up something that my kid left at a relative's house, make like a 45-minute drive. And I found that on the curb down the road from my relative's house. And it had its manual. Like I took the seat off the base and the original manual fell out and I like screamed because it's me. So
yes,
it was fun.
Hey, Heather, Michaela says the link for this wasn't posted on the Car Seat Pros Facebook page.
Yeah, I saw that. Of course it wasn't.
Can we do something about that?
Yes.
She's like, absolutely. On it.
Yes. The good news is if you're just joining us or will be joining us in a few minutes, haven't really missed anything yet. We're just chit-chatting. Well, Michaela, thanks for letting us know. We appreciate the heads up. And I'm glad that you found your way here regardless.
Yay, shenanigans.
Eric also says that the One for Life Slim, the sea foam, is gorgeous, and I
have that. It's very pretty.
Love that color. And I remember the first time we saw it at ABC before it was out, they had a different name for it. Heather, do you remember this? Do you remember that Sarah Tilton came back around and found us later on, and she was like, what do you call this? And I said, like, that's sea foam, but they were calling it something blue. And I guess there was some argument about like, that's not blue.
Is it?
But I agree. It's beautiful. I don't know. Do we have any other, like Graco has that weird geometric pattern now. It's not my thing, but I appreciate anything that's not black and gray, especially from Graco.
Duna has that black print with like the gold, like geometric print in the canopy.
Yes. Yes. Duna's doing some interesting stuff, with at least with the canopies. And yet, I mean, I don't know if they're working on it, but they still don't have a flame retardant free fashion, which
is that right? That's crazy.
That is good for Duna.
Yeah, I mean, considering that that's sort of the hot thing, like I can't imagine that you wouldn't have any offerings with flame retardant free soft goods at this point. So I really feel like if they're not working on that, they should get to working on that because, I mean, I'm sure you guys are seeing it.
I'm curious when the X comes over, if they're going to do like a different fabric option for that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all played with the X in person?
Nope.
I have.
With Duna once in my entire career.
Oh, wow.
Fair. I ran into a couple at Target. Like I'd seen the X a few times.
I've seen it in the wild, but not at a car seat check.
there was a couple here not here, I'm not home, but in Denver at a Target, and they had an X and we were in line. It's like, what do you think about that? Like I've seen it, it shows, but like, what do you think about it? They're like, we're borrowing it for this trip because they were over from Germany. And they were like, I was like, how do you like it? They're like, all these pieces rattle because of all the mechanics in the seat to make it recline. They said the seat rattles constantly while they push it.
Oh,
that's not good.
No.
Not for the sensory girlies.
No. And like the flip side is they're like, our baby, like we're pushing the baby in the stroller and like the baby can't sleep and it just rattles the baby awake all the time. And like,
it sort of defeats the whole purpose of like lay flat, make it more appropriate for sleeping. We are seeing them because people are importing them. I don't know where they're getting them from, but it is like the hot thing to have in certain New York City neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're getting them from somewhere.
We see some Dunas, but never the X of just the regular Dunas. They show up sometimes. And it's always, I've never seen a fake Duna at one of the events that I've done. They're real Dunas.
I wish.
I saw 3 fake ones at the mall one trip.
You saw what?
3 fake Dunas at the mall one time.
Holy crap.
They're all over the place.
They're non-compliant here.
I see them in like grocery stores out and about. And it's like one of those things where like, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And like it's a stranger.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I've had one family that it just happened to be like an acquaintance, somebody like that I saw on a regular basis. I was able to have a conversation with about their fake Duna. And they're good now. But
that's so tough.
I have seen more fake Dunas than real ones.
Yep.
Every time I see a Duna out and around, I always look, and I have yet to see a fake Duna on the streets near me. Every time I see one, it's always a real one. I know. It's just like, all right.
No,
listen, if I see one, it means that they've broken the law up here. So it's either fake or non-compliant.
Oh, you see used Dunas. Of all the Dunas that we like, the used car seats that I see come into my checks are most often Nunas or Uppa Babies. Those are the 2 used seats that we see the most.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen somebody come in with a secondhand Duna. It's just one that they purchased. But yeah, I see a lot of used Uppa Babies, used Nunas. I think the best used Nuna story that I ever had was this couple that came in and they were going to have twins. And they were in some like twin parent Facebook group, and they had indicated on their like form, because we have them like pre-fill like a form of like, what are you bringing to us, that it was a used seat. And we were like, okay, we always give them the rundown of like, okay, like, do you know the person that gave it to you? Does it have all its pieces? And like, we can't like certify that it's going to work, but we just, we want to make sure that it looks good, right? That seat came from that Facebook group. It was spotless, both of them that she'd gotten from that Facebook group, spotless, and came with the inserts and the extra bag of inserts. Mm-hmm. Everything looked like new. And she was like, oh yeah, like this is like, we're the second people to get it, like from this whatever. And like we all take really good care of this stuff. And I was like extremely, they had the manuals for both seats. It was incredible. It's like, if you're going to go used, that's the way to do it. That's great.
Lainey did a car seat check the other day for somebody in her neighborhood and ended up giving her like one of her Graco seats from her stash because the woman needed something. Yeah. And she was checking one of the seats. And this woman was like, yeah, I'm the car seat safety person in my family. I'm the one that's really serious. And I don't remember what seat it was, but Lainey took it out and turned it over. It had expired in 2018.
Oh, no.
Oh, we had that today. We had a lovely even flow Triumph circa 2010 that expired in 18. And it was, again, it was a grandma, and she was a very loving, very doting grandma. And she just had no idea. Don't know where she got the seat from because it was old. Clearly, she left with a different seat. But yeah.
That's so tough.
Taking
I
bets.
Still have people saying that. You turn it over and you're like, oh, here's the expiration. They're like, oh, it expires? You're like, yeah, man. It sure does. And now you know exactly when it expires. They very rarely ask why. Sometimes they do. But, it's always good for them. Like I make them watch me turn it over and find the sticker and then be like, this is your expiration date, just because so often they just don't even like think about that. And even if they don't remember the exact date, at least they remember that there is one.
Correct.
I had a guy at my seminar today, and somebody asked about like, how do you go through safety ratings? Like, how do you get this stuff? And I was like, short answer is you don't. So I gave them the usual dog and pony about safety ratings being released and all that. Mm-hmm. And then after the event, this guy came up wearing his baby in a very cute little baby carrier. but he was talking, he's like, I really liked your answer to that because I work in engineering. And like when we get safety ratings of like doors and stuff, like it's pass fail, like did this catch on fire? Did it not? Did it do that? And when you print out all the safety information, your brain starts to spin. And I was like, I know that's one of the reasons I don't think it should be released to the public like that. Yeah. Because we know people can't read their manuals already. And if like you had to look at a chart of like HIC scores for everything and all this, people be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And like,
right.
Even
you don't need it.
I don't like, we need you to just read and follow your manual. If you could get it installed and used according to the manual's instructions, you are leaps and bounds ahead of the game in protecting your child.
Mm-hmm. And I like it that like, at least they know like, every seat will be safe regardless of how much money they choose to spend on it.
Yep.
And like it's not the end of the world if you can't spend like $800
on
a car seat.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that nuance has really, really gotten lost lately. And like I can see why, because we do have all this new like technology coming on. We see more of those load legs now. We're seeing the anti-rebound bars. And every time you introduce a new safety feature, I feel like then the public is like, well, why do we need this new safety feature? And then we explain why we need it. And then they're like, oh, well, the other seats must be bad if they don't have it, which is a reasonable thing to think. But then, then we kind of get lost in that area of like, well, the new stuff is good. And also it's okay if you don't, you're driving a Dodge and they don't allow a load leg. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to have a car seat in there. Like,
I think what we need to remember is like, it needs to be crash worthy. Like that's the important thing at the end of the day. Is it crash worthy? Period.
Right. That's right.
The flip side of that though is, I mean, how many times have you seen usually technicians, sometimes they're not techs, they're just advocates, but it's usually on some sort of child passenger safety discussion forum where you hear all car seats are the same, they're all safe, they all meet the same standards.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it doesn't matter whether you buy a $50 car seat or a $500 car seat, they are equally safe. And I'm like,
that's not.
They've all met the high pass or fail bar. But we don't have a way to quantify like more or less. And what really gets me with that is like, yes, they've all met that high pass or fail. Beyond that, we can't quantify it, but we don't want to discourage caregivers who feel like they're not doing enough for their kids.
Yeah.
Like we already know, even like if here's our pass bar and we have this range above that and your seat is right here, your kid's going to be so well protected if you use that seat. Wow. And that's where I have a hard time with like, okay, yes, they've all met the bar, but we can't quantify it.
Yeah.
Something I always teach in my classes when I'm training CPSTs is you also don't get to choose your crash.
Correct.
So
Correct.
You might, that safety feature might not mean anything at the end of the day. Again, is it crash worthy? If we can go above and beyond, great, and it's within budget, great. But the car seat, when it's used correctly, installed, harness, all that stuff, it's going to do its job. And its job is to try to prevent life-altering injuries for us. That's the job. You might have a broken leg. We can fix legs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly right. I think that's part of it, too, of like they may hear, especially the people that aren't actually techs, they may hear one of us say something like, all car seats on the market meet the same standard. And then in their brain, it sounds like they're all equally safe. And so then they go out and they start saying they're all equally safe. And then that kind of language just kind of rolls around for a while. But yeah, I agree. Because you can't be like, well, they're all equally safe. Like, we don't actually know. We don't know that.
We can't pick our crashes. One might do really, really well in a frontal, but if you get T-bone, maybe a different seat would be differently. And you could have a seat with all the bells and whistles. And if you didn't use it right, if you have the wrong belt path and it's too loose and your kid's not strapped in tightly, it still may not do. All the safety features don't mean anything if you don't use them correctly.
Right. How many of us have seen these super expensive high-end seats and the kid's just sitting in it? The harness isn't even done.
We're in the wrong belt path. We're past the lower anchor weight limit. Our harness is wicked loose. Like, you can throw all the money in the world at it, and if you don't use it correctly,
We're definitely
in the old days, we used to call it the Britex bubble.
Yeah.
Like that, it was the Britex bubble. Like, oh, if your kid's in a Britex seat, then, you know, you're fine.
They'll be safe.
Yeah, Julie's laughing. Britex bubble. Yeah. And nowadays it's, you know, it could still be the Britex bubble. But it, you know, it could, I mean,
the thing is that now there was
on $500 car seats is it. That's one of the most interesting things about this field is that it doesn't. There's no ties or relevance to socioeconomic factors. Like, it literally doesn't matter whether you've had a 6th grade education, you know, in some other country, or you have 2 PhDs. Like, everyone across the board makes horrific mistakes, which then also brings me to like, but why is this so hard? Why is this so hard? Why do you have to take a 4-day, 35-hour class to have any chance of doing this right? Like,
I had a very interesting conversation with someone who shall remain nameless about this very thing. And we talked for a couple hours on the phone, and she's like, Jamie, you know, the manufacturers are not making this easy for the most part. They're not making use easier. They're not making installation easier for the most part. And this is creating an epidemic of CPSTs.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, you know, don't even get me started on some of this, but like, if car seats were, and some of them are much easier to install now. Like, thank God we have like good lock-offs and tensioning plates and stuff like that. But it's still so confusing for people. And like, you know, today, this lady came up. I don't remember which even flow system she was getting, but she was showing me like on her baby registry. She's like, so I'm doing this, but what do I do after this? What car seat do I do after this? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, what? And I was like, oh, you mean like a convertible? I was like, you do whatever that fits your car that you can use correctly. You have so many to choose from. And I was like, you don't need to worry about getting one that'll fit in your stroller because none do. So use this seat correctly. While you're using this seat correctly, do some research. Find a couple seats you're interested in. Look at them. Watch some videos. And then make an informed decision. You know?
The decision,
guys. This is the manual to the car seat that I rode in as a baby. This was purchased in January of '87. I was born in February. So this is a Fisher-Price car seat manual. This is it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Yep.
As we can see, that's like 1/18 the size of a car seat manual today. So to Jamie's point,
we tell people read your manual. Some of the things that take up space in a manual are federally required to be there. And they're required to be there, or the manufacturer felt the need to put them there because common sense and critical thinking are not there. So we have to spell it out.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you know, we don't have access to manuals in languages everybody understands. We don't have, you know, literacy crisis is a whole separate soapbox.
Whole other video.
Other video. But this is why, like, I'm really glad to see people putting like QR codes where you can scan for a video because people are visual learners. But like, it shouldn't be this complicated.
There's a great comment from Michaela there that there's very little that's black and white anymore as well. There's everything I say, you know what? Stop making cheat sheets. Like, there is always going to be an exception to that rule. Even the harness height, we've had exceptions. Like,
we have. And I told at the beginning of my car seat section today, I'm talking about rear facing only seats. And I'm like, you know what? I know people call them infant seats. You could use a convertible as an infant seat. I don't like that it's called an infant seat. So this is a rear facing only seat. And I'm going to say typically you have two defining characteristics, the seat with the handle and the base. And I'm going to say typically a lot during this seminar because there is no black and white. You have to read your manual. Every seat is different. And like what?
Jamie, I'm just going to say the reason that I don't use rear facing only anymore is because of the Axe Kid.
Well, yeah.
And so that
Fair
one's
enough.
not.
That is
so
also
now I
rear
use
facing
infant.
only, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rear facing only seats don't always have a handle. I mean, that one actually it does, but not a.
Yeah.
There's always an exception.
Again, there's always an exception, right?
Well, that's the thing. There's always an exception. And like Michaela says, there's so few things that are black and white. And then even seats that we've had for a long time are changing.
Yep.
Yes.
Like I know Graco's got some of their seats with the level line now instead of the ball, or the ball range has shortened. So we
like on the Extend to Fit, the 2-in-1.
We've got weight limits on inserts that didn't exist on previous models. We've got changes to, just because it's a model you've seen before and you've heard of, doesn't necessarily mean if you advise a caregiver, oh yeah, the seat would work for your situation, and then they obtain it and it's the updated model and something's changed, it might not. So like now more than ever, we have to look at like, or have there been any changes? Let's do some homework.
It's when we were putting together some stuff for the showdowns we just did, like I always go through and look at like the manufacturer's website and the manuals I have to kind of like get everything. And because of these new regulations and the new seats and like the weight limits dropping down to 30, like so many of the manufacturers, what is listed on the website is not what's in their PDF on the internet. And it's like the Graco, like click the instructions and you're going to get a blender.
Oh, the blender.
Moment. James was such a good sport about that.
It's just like, and I know it's so much work, like obviously this rolling change, but it's like when you don't know, I mean, we're all obviously well-versed in this, but if I was a consumer and went to a website, I was like, the website itself says 35 pounds. The manual PDF says 30. Like what?
Yeah. It's really hard. Yeah.
I noticed that literally like 2 days ago, I was on the Graco website and I was trying to download the manual for the new Forever DLX. And I had because I have the new Forever DLX. So I had the model number. I had the date of manufacturer. I'm putting it in. Nope, not found. Don't have it. Not there yet. And I'm like, I mean, it's not brand new. It's been a couple months. Like, come on. Like,
it's a blender. It's a blender pick.
And it's been they have so many new, like, I feel like with all of like the updates now, everything is being like, they're judging everything because they have a reason to. And so now we're seeing that backlog of like, oh, actually it's going to take us a lot longer to get this all up and running, but we need the information now. I was just talking to trying to find a manual for Canada, and it was just not even anywhere. Like I couldn't find the manual. It was not on the Graco Canada website. I was like, I know this exists there. And so she had to send it to me separately, which is crazy. Like, what if I was a consumer and I didn't know Holly Choi? You know what I mean? Like,
and I think it'd be so much easier. And like, I will not demonize a brand for this. Like, who cares? But it would be so much easier to keep things updated if a brand didn't make 15 different versions of the same infant seat.
Correct.
And like, give us three to look at. What I don't need. I don't need 47.
We've only got like 2.
Like, help me God.
I feel like thing that has the advantage is you just have less models to navigate, which sometimes sucks, but also sometimes makes your life easier.
Yeah, it'll come in black and gray. Great.
Cool. You make one infant seat click? Right.
No, right?
Yeah. We have so many infant seats on the market right now, and I'm like, we need more combos. We need more forward facing.
Yeah, we do.
Like
for sure.
Like we have entirely too many infant seat options, in my opinion. And maybe I'm just a little biased because like fitting newborns and little bitties is not my jam. But
we need more harness to boosters. We need more options desperately.
Yes.
You know what?
Like how many times can you throw out a MyFit? You're like,
right.
What do we need, Kecia?
What do we need, Kecia?
Well, we need seats that go harness past 65 pounds.
Correct.
Yes.
And I'm hopeful that some manufacturer, because I understand it's a numbers game and it's a money game. And they're being honest and be like, all right, how many kids over 65 pounds are actually still riding in harness seats? The answer is very few. But once they sunsetted the testing with type 1 belts, right? Now we've got a shoulder belt in the equation. Now maybe we can do some creative things and get those seats to pass with the 10-year-old ATD, which I know like that dummy is a beast. And trying to restrain that dummy with lap belt and no tether was, that was pretty much the demise of every harness seat that we had. But we so desperately need seats that go above 65.
I would I'm not even a flexible person. I would do cartwheels if we got like a Legacy Frontier back.
I need to start a tally because I have this conversation with people at least 3 or 4 times a month via like a DM on like Instagram or TikTok where they have a 65 plus pound child who is under 5 years old. I've seen 2 and 3-year-olds, and if they have some kind of a diagnosis, I'll say, here's how you can find a stack trained technician. If you don't have one in your area, like maybe we email the car seats for the littles team and ask for help from one of their techs. But
even then, they're not getting that seat covered. They're not getting a Roosevelt covered by insurance. So now you're telling them, all right, well, there is this option, but it's $1,800 at a minimum. I think the price for Roosevelt might even be more than that.
And I'll walk them through all that. Like, hey, you could need to get help from a stack trained tech. You need to talk with your child's medical providers. But also, let's talk about the Ride Safer travel vest. Let's get you their contact information for sizing help. And like, my God, this is where that good, better, best.
Yes.
Good, better, best. Like, people rear face till they're 4 and 5 and 6 years old. I'm like, when I have a 65-pound 3-year-old, no, we're, and we need more options because then there's parents that are not comfortable with the vest or, and
it's a great niche product, but like for everyday use, it wouldn't be my first choice.
I love using it for travel. I would not want to use it every day if I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right.
But we absolutely.
Speaking of RSTV, Our Lady of the RSTV here is what I refer to Emily as.
Yes.
Congrats on finally hitting 100K on TikTok.
Yay! Good job,
I had my Ben and Jerry's, my celebratory. Yes.
I was literally just tying some of this together. I just was at a Czech event yesterday, and I had a family come in. They had 3 kids, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 16-month-old. And the 6-year-old they were trying to see if she could be booster ready, but she was a petite 6, so she was like 42 pounds, like 44 inch, like she was like a smaller 6-year-old. And I was like, well, best practice would be to keep her harnessed, but let's take a look and see what her fit's like. And it was a Diono, like in booster mode, so of course it was not a good fit. But then the mom was like, well, like, they sometimes transport her in a booster for like school or whatever. And like, it's just easier with like 3 kids. And I was like, okay, but you know what? There are other boosters that would fit her better. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm not going to let you leave this Czech event until you have your child harnessed. She did leave that day harnessed because that was safer for her in that seat. But I left her also with options for that booster because good, better, best, right? Like, she's 6 years old. She's mature. She can sit in that. And that same mom also was asking me about the Ride Safer travel vest because she's like, listen, like, are those actually safe? Like, I use them for travel, but I worry because I see on the moms groups people getting shamed for not bringing car seats and for using vests instead. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, those people don't know what they're talking about. You don't need to listen to them. They can be kind of crazy. Also, if a Ride Safer vest is the difference between your kid not being restrained at all on a vacation and being restrained on a vacation, use the vest. Your kids that you're using it for are 4 and 6. That's great. Like, use the vest. Make sure it's properly fitted.
It's just like
not.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so as long as it's the actual Ride Safer vest and not the knockoff strap contraptions of Doom.
It's a similar idea to. Oh yeah.
The travel vest?
The what do you call them? The soft cut strap and safe.
Oh, those things.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was the real thing. Yeah.
I have seen a similar looking product to the Ride Safer vest.
I thought there was one.
It's not it. So
not it, fam.
Not it, fam. Make sure you are buying the genuine product from an authorized retailer.
To your point of like using that, like you're going to have a safely restrained child.
Yes.
I remember when Uber in New York worked with Lisa to get Emigos and Ubers, and people were like, "How dare you promote forward-facing a 1-year-old in this?" And I was like, "Unless you live in New York and you deal with cabs, you know nobody's traveling with convertibles and cabs."
Correct.
And a properly restrained 1-year-old forward-facing is better than no car seat whatsoever.
That's
like,
rest in peace,
right.
Emigo.
Like, you can't do this. I miss that Emigo so bad.
And Jamie cornered Jill from Emmy and was like, please, give it back, please.
I was like, please just bring the Emigo back.
Yes.
I don't ask for much.
Yes.
It is such a wonderful little product.
Yes.
Do we know, like, did you have any insight into why it went? Because, right, Emmy had it first, and then Durrell bought it, and then Durrell made a similar version for a couple of years, and then Emmy was making them again, and then they just
Emmy made them, and then Magic Beans was the sole distributor of the seed. They were the only place you could buy them, and then Emmy they stopped. Like, and this made me remember another seat when you said like the Emmy to Durrell transition. Girls, some of you won't remember this seat. But do y'all remember, I want to say back in like 2004, 2005-ish, there was a Costco Eddie Bauer car seat that was just a piece of plastic, like a square, and they marketed it.
Tote and Go.
Yeah, okay, thank you. It was a plastic square with a harness on it, and you fed a seatbelt through it.
It's called a what? I'm sorry, I'm literally Googling this.
A tote and go. Tote, and then I think with the letter N.
Tote
and
it was Eddie Bauer plaid, something special. And as a former Eddie Bauer employee, it really went with me.
Or Jamie
Yes, I did work at Eddie Bauer for a couple months one summer, and I want to say it was 2001. I worked at Eddie Bauer at the mall in Sioux City, Iowa, and my manager, I'm going on a tangent, I'm sorry.
I'm so worried about what you're about to say.
My manager used to let me welcome customers to the store with this, and I'm not lying. I used to be like, "Welcome to Eddie Bauer. We're making the world look like lesbians and fishermen, one plaid shirt at a time." And it was the most fun. I had so much fun at that store. And there was a girl that worked next door at Bath and Body Works, and she used to come visit. And she was fine. And like she would leave, and my manager, Karen, would be like, "Jamie, are you ever going to ask her out?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, I am very gay." And she's like, "Why?" She's like, "Why don't you boys ever tell me?" And I'm like, "If we're boys working in retail, that's a box that's checked right there for you, sweetie." And I was like, I tap dance all over the floor here when there's no customers because Eddie Bauer has such good wooden floors. And I was like, I'll just do tap.
I found pictures. It had a spot on it for your address. If you lost it, please return.
Adorable. I love that.
But Julie said she had a Tote and Go, but hers was the cheap blue Costco version. So not the upscale plaid version.
The plaid, I mean, I remember thinking it was so cool. And like, I mean, again, back in the day, like, Bye Bye did not really train employees when I worked there. So we were all like self-taught. And the shit I told people, I look back and I'm horrified at some of the things I said. But like, again, you don't know what you don't know. I'm trusting whatever they told me to tell people. And one of the craziest things I ever heard at that store, I had already quit working at Bye Bye. And the Aton had just hit the market, like the OG Aton, which I even talked about today. Please bring the OG Aton back with the good harness webbing. Bring it back,
good harness webbing.
So it was thicker. So that Aton came out, and I was like working for a different brand on a weekend this particular day. And I was like, "Oh my God, you have the Aton in. Do you know anything about it?" And all these kids were like, "No." And I was like, "Hold on." So I walked them to the seat, taught them how the tension plate works, like all that. And then I'm over at my little thing with the Orbit, working for them for the weekend. And I hear one of the employees tell people, yeah, the Aton has this great foam in it, and it positions your baby properly to help them digest their food better. And it's great. It's a great seat. And then once you're out of the Aton, you go to the Frontier. And I was like, your sign also had it with that story. Your sign was disgusted.
Now we get a blank wall. That was digest their food.
Your food, it's to help with digesting your food. And so when there were no customers, I took him aside and I'm like, hey, like, that's actually not correct information. And then the assistant manager pulled me the next time I went in with like a client to do their registry. The manager pulled me by my clothes across the floor and said, how dare you talk to my employees like this? Da, 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 da. I was like, dude, I'm not your employee anymore. I have a customer here with thousands and thousands of dollars on their registry, and I'm here as a customer. So you need to not touch me anymore. I'll delete the whole thing.
Oh my God. I'll delete the whole thing.
I'll delete the whole thing. We'll go to Aldi.
Elsewhere, ma'am.
Well, I was looking at this, and Erica, I Googled it, the Costco Tote and Go, and there's a picture of like the plaid where it's folded up. And if you tap that, like underneath, you can see some other views. Like, I just love the port. Like, I'm sorry, we have this conversation where I want Darrell to put a carry strap on the Rise.
Yep.
No.
Because, I mean, honestly, like, I have toted that thing around in a tote bag before, and like, with the armrests and stuff, it just nests around the love handle right here, and you just, you know.
I believe the Rise is 2 pounds, I believe.
Right.
You know what I want them to bring back? Bring back the Imigo. Bring me back a freaking booster pack. I
have heard of those. I have heard of those, but I've never.
Yeah, and I think Darrell bought it, but the booster pack I think existed in the Euro market. And then clearly was Jamie shaking his head, and then it was really bought by Darrell, but then was short-lived. But it was a booster that was a backpack. Mm-hmm. But then you could the inside of the booster was hollow, so you could open it, and your kid could put all their toys and crayons and all that stuff in it, and then they wore it as a backpack. Like, it was interesting. We really need more portable options. Like,
and like, I love that Uber has like a carry strap, you know. The Ollie, sorry. But
you said Uber, and I'm thinking cars.
Yeah, I was like,
got it.
So the Cluck booster.
Travel around town with an Uber. No offense.
But you're still in it for like $150 with the Cluck option, right?
Yeah.
So I have to show you.
We need the adult dummy, short adults. Yes.
Also,
we touched on this earlier.
God, is this it?
Yeah, those.
Somebody called it something. What did you call it?
Amazon contraption of doom.
Yes. Say that again.
The harness strap contraption of doom.
Harness strap contraption of doom. Yes, I call it the pink vest of death. So we all have just little names for it. But yes, pink vest of death is adorable. Like, it's got these cute little. And one of my favorite things about pink vest of death is the instruction manual.
That looks like a Halloween flyer. What is that?
Shows you how to put it in the front seat of your car.
Oh, okay.
Because you basically like cam wrap the straps through the seat bite.
Sure.
Yeah. Good times.
Mine didn't even. Now, granted, I got mine for $5 off the marketplace and got it out of circulation. But it has like the 2 straps that go, like, it would go over the seat like the cam wrap, but it doesn't even fit like around because my seat has like the center and one seat are together, and then the driver's side seat is by itself, and it doesn't even fit around that. And little plastic, they're like circular, they're about yay big, that they're just bendy flexi plastic that are supposed to like go on the anchor bars or like shove down in the seat bite. And I'm like, if you have a sedan, if you have a pickup truck, you have no way to even wrap these.
Yeah.
Like, it's death. It's doom.
Yeah. And I do think that most consumers, especially with the cheap price tag, usually, I've not actually. Has anybody seen any of these like in the wild?
Not in the wild, but asked about on social media constantly.
Yep.
Especially like spring break, holiday travel seasons. People coming on the help groups going, "Is this okay? Is this safe? Is this no, absolutely not."
I will say what's been really interesting with, and Emily also probably will agree with this, is like with the rise of like the counterfeit dudas and those vests on TikTok, people are way more educated to see those counterfeits now. And people, when I get tagged in a counterfeit video, it's nothing but people like, please don't use the seat. Please don't promote it. Please don't do this. Like it has really, the awareness has skyrocketed, I think.
Agreed.
Which is nice. I have like 10 minutes before I have to jump off of here.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, Julie's also saying she sees it a lot on Facebook, but not in the wild. And Erica says she saw a post on one of the car seat Facebook groups recently asking about one of these. Yeah, I mean, they're cheap and they always claim to be like for children, 0 to 12. Portable.
It seems to be. That's the problem. Like,
car seat. Like,
give us that Emmy Go, and Emmy, you will make a lot of money because there's such a need for like a lightweight seat like that. And I did not know that seat existed until I first went through certification. And Elisa was my teacher, and she pulled it out of a bag, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And like, you could fold it up and fit it under a Vista, and to be able to travel with the car seat that can fold up and fit in your undercarriage basket. Like, come on, bring her back.
Yeah, I do wonder sometimes why like we get the seats that we get from the manufacturers, because I feel like when we're talking to families and caregivers, we're like seeing the need for like narrow seats, compact seats. We're seeing the need for lightweight seats, travel seats, and then all we ever get is more infant seats. We're just like, please stop giving us infant seats. We need these other things, please. We need lock-off. We need tensioners. We need all of these things, and we're getting everything but that. Oh, look at that. What is that?
Yeah, bring it back. This, I'm pretty sure, is the first iteration of it. So before Durrell bought it and started making their own, we're going to unwrap this and see the date of manufacture is on this.
I want to go play in Kecia's storage room.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff. Like I said, my hoarding talent developed early on. Here we are. Made in 2008.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
April of 2008. Well, what I was going to ask, though, this one is clearly used. Okay, that doesn't look great. It's been a while since I opened that bag. Does anybody remember what was the latch weight limit on the most recent version of the Go?
I'm paging Julie Gregory in our comments section. That sounds like something she would know.
I think it was like 45 pounds or something, honestly, right?
Because here's the thing, you really couldn't install it with seatbelt. Like the seatbelt install sucked. Like you needed latch. With latch, it was quick and easy. With seatbelt, it was kind of a nightmare.
I mean, I remember the first time I installed that and like put the lower anchors in and tethered it and pulled that strap and expanded it. I was like, "This is beautiful." I have the
manual pulled up. I'm listening.
Emily thinks maybe 55 pounds, which makes sense.
55. He's right.
Right. So, like again, like a seat that goes. You want a seat like that to go to at
55
least
55 pounds, Julie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But no, I agree. We should just try to find out like what were the reasons behind its discontinuation, and can somebody Emmy really can be convinced that there's still a market for this.
See, that makes me wonder if our Emmy folks are going to be at Seat Check Saturday on Saturday, because I'm going up to the north side of Indy.
Okay.
So maybe you'll see.
You have one job.
They're very lovely people. I have met them.
You have one job.
Change.org petition, please.
I would love to start a change.org to bring the Emmy Go back.
Let's do it.
This is the important things we need in the world right now. The Emmy Go. That's what we want.
Julie says it was a good backless because it was low and wide. I think that's the only like fun seat I have in the house right now. Is I have that up and go. on my dresser.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that, right? Because I've only seen pictures of it. Go get it. I want to know why Britax decided to do the atypical belt path routing over the armrest.
Right.
Like,
okay, so this is the Britax.
I don't
know what the thought.
I have not asked them why they did that. They do have the shoulder belt clip though, so.
But because the only other one who's done that previously, I mean,
Costco.
Durrell did that with the top side. And I don't know if there are other Durrell products that also do that.
The first Boost and Go, like the backless only version.
Am I hallucinating that the Ride Safer booster also does that?
Yeah.
It goes over.
Oh, the Delighter, the Ride Safer Delighter?
Yeah, it goes over the handle.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
On some, I think there was a change in the years on the Travel Smarter. On the booster for the Ride Safer, I think there was a change at some point, but some of them do go over.
Mm-hmm.
But Costco Topside, the Baby Deal Storm, which is the Costco Topside, sold at Meijer. I don't know if you all have Meijer, but and then the Boost and Go Light, or like where it's the backless only, because we've had those for distribution events and they do go over as well. This one is over. I don't know why it's over. I have not asked, but it does at least have the belt clip.
Carly's saying they said it tested better that way.
Kind of like how the Joy Chili Spin tested better untethered and rear facing.
A mystery.
We had, because I tried both my kids in this. I mean, my oldest one 5 steps and he does not need a booster anymore, but he was kind enough to model for science because he's a half an inch under the height limit. And he was fine without the clip. My 8-year-old is about 50 and a half inches tall. And it did actually provide a really snug fit on his chest. It's just unusual. Like he went to buckle it in and he's like, wait, what? And then he's not a big fan of like the clips from a sensory standpoint. And I think that would really depend on the car. Because in my car, he absolutely would need it. But he might not in a different vehicle. People have been concerned about the cup holders and will they fall off. They actually, like, you have to really, really push this tab and then pull. Like, they're not just going to knock off and fall out.
Well, that's nice.
It's like almost a 2-hand process to get the cup holders out. So,
and this is a product that's clearly intended for bigger, older kids, which is great. Like we always want more products. Cool. And routing the shoulder belt over the armrest changes the geometry of the seatbelt and does bring it closer to the neck, which might be better for bigger, older kids. I'm always just concerned that anybody who needs the clip, like I don't know that anybody is actually using that on a daily basis.
That's my concern as well, because so many people don't use this or don't use it correctly to start with.
Right. It's just one more thing for them to misuse.
Right. And and I would also love to see, because it is clear on the labeling, like on the little pictogram that it goes over, but like I would love to see something like right here. Like
Upper does with the handle positioning for the infant seat. Yes, put a little diagram. That would be great.
I mean, we know that kids inherently tend to route the shoulder belt over. It's, obviously one of the most common things that we're fixing with most boosters, where you do have to come back under the armrest. So I think it's one of those things where in real life, parents and kids who are buckling themselves might actually just do it right, but techs will get it wrong.
Yes.
Agreed. I agree, because it is different. It is the exception. The other thing I found interesting about this is there is no age minimum listed on the labels or the manual, but it has a 46-inch height minimum, which is about a 6 or 7-year-old. So there is
so weird. 46. Like I'm trying to think. Does that correlate?
Round number of centimeters?
I don't think it does. I'm trying to think. What's the standing height of the hybrid 3-6-year-old?
I don't know where they got 46 instead of 44, because they've had 44 for a long time, like for their high back boosters.
Yes.
But 46 would be an average 6 or 7-year-old. I actually kind of like the fact that they didn't just slap the 4-year-old minimum, because so many people think they're fine to go ahead and stick their 4-year-old in a backless booster just because it says 4.
Yep.
So if we're relying exclusively on size for this, that's going to prohibit some younger kids from using it because there's not an age minimum.
However, I wonder how many people are even looking at that at all. Like, who is buying that booster seat and going like, oh, I wonder what the height, you know what I mean? Like, I wish they were, but I don't think they are. They're just going to be like, oh, look, a booster seat. I'm going to put my 4-year-old in this because who says I can't, you know?
Right. And at least, though, I feel like it's kind of, it could go either way. It's either, oh, well, there's people go, oh, there's no age minimum. I could go ahead and put my 3 or 4-year-old in this. But also, there's no age minimum. How do I know if this is appropriate for my child? And maybe give them a little bit of pause and make them do a little bit more homework before they determine. So
it starts at 40 pounds, correct?
Yes. 40.
Like, it would have been nice if they started at 50. Right now, 50 pounds, 46 inches. Now we're like actually getting into big kid territory. Right. Not that there aren't some kids who are 50 pounds at 2 years old, but like,
if you have a taller but skinnier, like lighter weight, you know, like my 50-inch kid is, how heavy is he? He's 50 something at this point, but he was a featherweight for a long time. So you might have a taller child who's under 50 pounds still, who might be able to use it just fine.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've left a lot of doors.
Go ahead, Jamie. Jamie, thank you. Happy Chop House Safety Week. We love you.
Yes, it was nice chatting. I talked to nearly 300 people about car seats today for 5 hours.
Woo!
And it was great. People left more informed. It was lovely. But it's time to go eat because all I've had all day. Do y'all know this place called Maple? Was it Maple Leaf Biscuit Company or something, like Maple something or the other? Let me tell you, we ordered it for breakfast instead of McDonald's today as a treat. Some of the best chicken tenders I've ever had, and I say this as a tendy connoisseur. They were wonderful.
So, are you having that for dinner?
No, we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh,
and the
more
first
different
time,
chicken. Great.
This Buffalo Wild Wings, specifically this location, the first time I went was with Monica, who runs this event. And we went to go eat, and there was a fight in the kitchen. The employees weren't having it. So some of them ran out, and then they came back, and we thought they had guns. So we left money on the table, and we left. So Lainey and I are going back because Lainey wants teriyaki chicken wings.
Get it, Lainey.
Enjoy. Well deserved.
Yep.
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Have a lovely night.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you again.
Bye.
No.
Like somebody go feed Jamie, please.
Oh, blessings to Jamie.
He will stomp you all around town.
Yes.
Looking for a restaurant and then
he
be like,
very fast.
should we just go to this bar and get maybe just the hotel lobby and get chicken tenders? Like, if you just start there, it's like, we know we're going to end up here.
Yeah.
Then your night's easier. But I've been stomped all around Las Vegas looking for chicken tendies that he.
Remind me, where is he right now? Is he in Cincy? Is that what we said?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know Ohio really well, but I know when I was in Dayton, like the big thing was like chili. Like they were
Skyline chili.
Skyline chili, but like not my favorite. Sorry to my Ohio people.
Tell me again, what was it? What's the name of that place?
Skyline.
Skyline chili. They like sell it in cans. You put it on spaghetti in Cincinnati because they're crazy. They're crazy, but I don't like it on the spaghetti either. I think it's very weird. But I do like the conies that they make. They put it on hot dogs and it tastes good. Mm-hmm. And there's like a big mound of cheese that goes on top. So I'm into cheese, and that's great.
It's got to be the mound of cheese in the Midwest.
I'm making this face, but I'm the one that made you eat Kraft dinner with ketchup on top, right?
Yes, well, that's true. When Holly came over one time, she brought Canadian Kraft dinner down, and I made her a box of like regular American mac and cheese, blue box mac and cheese, and then
so different.
Then I also made
it's different
Kraft dinner.
The color and texture, and
color
flavor.
And texture.
But, so I've not had Kraft dinner. I mean, but is it still the powdered stuff that you mix?
Yeah, but it's more orange. The flavor is different. I can't describe it. It's just different.
It's more orange.
So Kecia, to me, the Kraft dinner tasted like our blue box mac and cheese used to taste back in like the 90s. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it tasted like old school mac and cheese.
But it's not sticky. Your current mixture comes out kind of like almost like a
well, that's because I make it stickier. My kids don't like it runny, and so I make it stickier. So I made it the way that I make it for my
I've
kids.
Taken it home. I've taken it home. You brought me some. I think you brought me some to Lifesavers. I took it home and made it. Yeah, the texture is wrong. It's wrong.
Interesting. All right, now we have to have craft dinner.
And I did eat the
I'll bring you some next time I see you.
Please.
It was good ketchup with ketchup.
With
Confirmed.
ketchup.
Oh, yes, Graders. I've had Graders. Graders.
The Aldra.
I can get on board with like some hot sauce, but I don't know about ketchup.
It's just a Canadian thing. It's like our ketchup chips. I don't know. We've just always done that, so it never was like a weird experiment for me because I was always presented with ketchup as a topping. Like since I've been presented with craft dinner as a meal.
And since the craft dinner does taste substantially different from regular like blue box mac and cheese, the ketchup goes better with it. Like I would not put ketchup on top of craft mac and cheese here in the States. It does not taste right. But it did taste pretty good to me on the Canadian craft dinner.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Sarah Haverstick's son did not want anything to do with it, though.
No, that checks out. I did not give it to my kids because they also would have been like, I just don't like this. No, thank you.
That is,
this is when your kids, like when you make like homemade mac and cheese and like great, and then their kids are like,
yeah,
they don't want that.
Scarf down the box, but they don't like the homemade Thanksgiving style mac and cheese.
No, they don't want that.
I remember the neighbor kid.
The mac and cheese deep dives. So
I remember the neighbor kid saying, like, I only like the real mac and cheese, and by that he meant the Kraft in a box.
Yes, that's where it started. Yeah,
that's reality.
Oh my goodness! All right, listen. What else? Like, what do our people want to talk about? I mean, we can talk about a variety. We can really. I mean, I think we've demonstrated that we can literally talk about anything.
Literally anything.
Is there anything in particular that those who are following along at home would like to discuss?
Somebody at the very beginning said, once you try a rotating seat, do you ever go back?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah, I own a rotating seat. So, Holly, what do you think?
Yeah, they will, because I'm not the one climbing into the seat anymore. Like, like I'm not having to place my child there. She can crawl into her own seat. So, for me,
it depends on what the rotating seat is. Some are,
and it depends on what that rotating
seat
is doing for you. Like if your kid can't climb into their own seat, if there's some kind of mobility concern for the caregiver, that might be, even when your kid can climb in, you still have to rotate it so that you can harness them for whatever reason. Maybe some people don't ever go back, but.
And at the same time, be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not somebody who's going to use it correctly, and that means lock it back in place, even when it's empty, every time you take your kid out, click. Every time. If you're not going to remember to do that, pick a stationary seat. And there is no shame in that whatsoever. Just be aware of your own limitations. Are you going to lock it back into place? Are you going to, every time, the more bells and whistles you get on a car seat, the more you have to know how to use correctly.
That's true. Erica says, thoughts on different rotating seats. I know there's so many now. Like, I feel like, even just like last year, there was not that many, but now they're just proliferating everywhere. So there's so many to have thoughts about.
There's some of them that are really good and some of them that are really not. And I will just say we can put a link in it. We have a comparison article at the Corsi Pros about all the different rotating seats. I'm still getting a handle on, I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's Callisto G360 here. I mean, obviously that's a really high price point. It's got some nice features, like what really sets Callisto G apart from the others is the fact that you can take advantage of a recline even when you're forward facing, right? None of the other seats do that. Once you're locked into place forward facing, you've got one position and it's upright. And really the magic of Callisto G is that the attachment point is almost floating, right? So you still can take advantage of some of the recline even when your kid is forward facing. Plus, like, it's got a really cool canopy.
Can we talk about the canopies? Because I think that's 3 seats now that have a canopy on the market.
The Baby Trend.
Yes, because Evenflow has one. Yep. Baby Trend had the first one, which I guess is called Cover Me or something like that. I never see that seat. I understand it exists.
I've never seen it in person, but I see it online.
Correct. Yep. And then Evenflow has one and Callisto has one. I'm curious, Emily, because you probably know this. Does the canopy on the Evenflow Slim, whatever it's called,
all for stages
slim?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Does the canopy have rules?
Have to be removed after a certain point. They're newer. We haven't really had a ton of calls about those yet because it's newer. I'm pulling up the manual because there is a certain
because the Callisto, you have to take it off at some point. Because
eventually you raise the headrest to the point where it does it.
Yeah.
I think Callisto, don't quote me on this because it's been a while since I looked at the manual. I think Callisto definitely had some rules about the canopy. I don't think you had to take it off, but I think that you couldn't use it fully extended forward facing.
Because it would interfere.
Because,
I think the all 4 stages, it's only used in like the lower 5.
Rear facing mode, lowest 5 positions.
So not forward facing at all?
Double checking.
I think so.
We're thinking
canopy installation, rear facing mode only.
Okay.
Lowest 5 positions.
Okay. I feel like whenever I see it, they always show it, of course, like in a forward facing view. So I just assumed that you could use it.
It would be on the display.
Yeah.
Like it would be on a store shelf.
Of course.
I'd like them to make like a version for your shoulders so that if someone's talking to you and you're done, you can just I mean, like, I guess that's a hoodie, but it would be more fun with.
They have those.
Bye.
Yeah, that's one of those things I feel like a lot of it's personally, I feel like is more for the parents than the child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like infant seat harness covers.
Seat with the canopy. They think, oh, this is necessary. I don't think I've ever in real life encountered a child that was like convertible car seat age who was ticked about the sun.
Oh, my kid definitely. My older kid is like,
Woody?
Can I have a sunshade? I need a sunshade. Which is fine when we're in my Santa Fe because my Santa Fe has the built-in sunshade. But in our e-tron, we don't have those. And so it's always like, I want the sunshade. And I'm like, I don't have one, man. Just close your eyes or something. Like
sunglasses, throw a ball cap on. You know what I'm saying? Like once they get to that point, but I mean, they're cool.
Again, it's a feature that, everyone has on the infant seat. And then I bet you that there are parents who miss that once your kid is in a convertible. You're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could continue to have that feature? And so I think manufacturers are just sort of, I imagine that they've gotten feedback from focus groups of parents who say, wouldn't it be nice if we could keep this feature even when our kid was in a bigger seat?
I'm just, all that is to me is I'm thinking toddlers and just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh, 100%. Or they're going to get pissed off at you and be like, oh.
The conversation ender. That's it.
Yes. After a certain age, I can see kids like breaking it, but that's just me. I'm one of those. Stop it.
Erica asked about the Joyce chili spin, which I feel like I have mixed feelings about the chili spin because I love the idea of the seat and I think that it's really like a cool seat, but that any rotating seat that's not an always tether is kind of like a little yellow flag for me. Like it's just a bummer because then you can't get the
You have to uninstall and reinstall.
Yeah, you have to take it all out.
I agree. I think that was a mistake. Even if it tested better, I think you should have weighed the pros and cons of just consistency and also just being consistent with what other brands are doing. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine that it was a pass-fail thing. I imagine it was, good like this, but better like that. And sometimes it's maybe not just about, maybe sometimes there are things that should trump the numbers, the scores.
Yeah.
But again, I'm theorizing. I really have no idea,
I don't know what. Either.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the Canadian version of the Graco Easy Turn, the new
Easy
one.
Turn.
The Canadian version of the Easy Turn has the top tethering use for rear facing, but the US version does not.
Well, yeah, because it's required for Canada. So they must have just been like, okay, we're doing this.
Why can we not just use it in the United States and have a one-time install? That would,
I don't know.
Because especially if you are maybe, I've had people ask about a rotating seat for like a grandparent that's going to use this for multiple children. And I'm like, honestly,
I almost wonder if it's got something to do with the rebound requirements in Canada.
Ooh, interesting point.
Now listen, we have a new updated test bench. Is Canada getting a similar updated test bench for frontal testing?
TBD.
Because that's the other thing too. I mean, if Canada's current bench is more like our old bench, then the numbers could be very different from one to the other.
Yep. I agree. I don't love it.
The rotating seats be one-time installs just for a misuse prevention measure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and didn't Sarah Haverstick have a great presentation?
Yes, she sure did.
Where she highlighted that specific information and was like, we actually saw.
She used the NDCF data from Even Flow specifically, and it was the one-time install and like the child facing you that you can harness them. So they actually had found just among their brand lower rates of misuse,
right?
Because it was that one. It's similar to the infant seat where you put the base in one time and then you click. But
I also feel like Chili Spin, I think it's okay. I don't think it has really any. There's nothing that sets it above everything else. There's nothing like, it's so much better than this or that. It's just sort of middle of the road. Like, it's fine, but and it's not even the cheapest rotating seat anymore, although that may have been what they were going for, with that price point. It doesn't have particularly tall top harness slots, so it's not going to last your kid really long. Like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think there's nothing that really sets it apart.
Yeah, it's not a standout.
They updated the harness covers on the side impact model where it doesn't have that rigid foam anymore. That was I just know, like, my kids, like, when I needed a combo, a forward-facing seat for my own kid, I got him a Transitions because I knew I could install it, and the harness pads were optional. He would not have tolerated a MyFit because he doesn't like so like I don't like pads and inserts. I rip them out as soon as I'm able. And so I'm like, hey, I didn't like those thick, rigid foam harness covers. So they updated that. I love their booster. I love Joy's booster.
The basil.
I love that thing. My kid freaking loves that thing.
The memory foam.
The thick. Oh, it's thick. Yeah.
I think the basil
I just recommended that.
One of those seats that does really well with the back on and not so great with belt fit without the back. But obviously that's going to be very child dependent.
For fit backless, but my kid is typically a high back rider from a maturity and a belt fit standpoint. It was fine for us with the belt clip. I'll be interested to see, but because it does have that 60-inch limit for backless mode. So
yeah, I think it was more, if I'm remembering correctly, it was more about how it positioned the lap belt almost like too far forward, where it was the lap belt is now over the femurs and not really over the pelvic bones.
It would, probably depend on the kid.
Yes, very much so.
That's actually less torso. So
that's a big problem with, I'm so mad about it too. The Giono Connect 3s that I was like so excited about, and having a skinny booster, even though it's not really that skinny, but the cutouts in the back that make it easier to buckle. Like, I was so excited about it, but the belt guide is so far forward that it just does not position the lap belt.
That was my one other thing with this too, is check that on smaller kids. It would really depend on the kid's build. That was my one other thing with that. So
yeah, honestly, when it comes to backless boosters, I really just feel like it's hard to beat an original turbo booster. Like the turbo booster has such fabulous fit on so many kids.
Turbos.
I'm sorry, what about the turbos?
Can they just, and I know we've harassed James about this before, but like, can they just come installed?
Oh my God, the screws, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. Somebody correct me because maybe I'm misremembering, but I had to put together a Graco stroller recently. Has anybody had to put together a Graco stroller recently?
Never.
Holly? No. Okay. I could swear that the little, I don't know if they were the pins, the little lock pins that get inserted into the wheels, right? Those little tiny things. They came in a little bag, very similar to the size of the bag that the screws come in. But it was either neon orange or it had some writing on it that said, "Do not throw away." Like there was something that drew your attention to there's things that you need in this tiny bag. And I was like, why can't we put turbo booster screws in a bag that is brightly colored or has some bright words on it that'd be like, hey,
don't throw away.
Don't throw it away. Also, along the same lines, when we were Kids in Motion, I was standing next to James when somebody else came up and asked a question. And I was like, wait, what? Did you know that there's all these other screws hiding in turbo boosters? So when you decommission turbo boosters, you take out all the screws and now you have 10. You have 10 of those goddamn screws. And Jack, bring me a turbo booster. The booster together are the same screws for the armrests. So when you find them at check events, turbo boosters right over there, today we salvaged 20 screws off of 2 old turbo boosters that we were throwing in the garbage.
Amazing.
So it's the same screws.
How did I not know this?
You could save them for like if someone's
important information.
Yes.
This is life-changing information.
It is life-changing information, Jack. So Jack is bringing me a bottom of a turbo.
It's like finding out there's like 8 to 10 like clips in every single seat.
I'm sorry, why isn't that in a presentation like that?
I don't know.
This is the information we need, James. If you are listening, sir.
Obviously, the screws go there, right?
Yeah.
But Jack will point them out. Screw. 2 there.
2
in there.
These are all the same.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're all the same.
2 here.
2 there. Yeah.
And then the bottom of the armrest. So, no, you're not going to see it. Right here.
James says it was
underside of the armrest.
Off-label use.
All have the same. They're all the same screws that they use for the armrest. So don't, next time. So
why can they not just come installed?
Again, yes, 100%.
Somebody needs to make a post, please, Kecia.
Listen, we know what it is. It's all about boxing. It's all about getting more containers on the pallet, right? If it comes disassembled. But can we, at the very least, put the screws in some sort of attention to itself? Like that would not be that hard. And when I saw that they had done that on the stroller, then I was super pissed. Because like clearly you know how to do this. You know how to keep people from throwing away tiny parts that are required. Right. So
screws, Maestro, like the cup holders on the Maestro. But like can we stop using screwdrivers for other things on car seats also? That would be great.
Oh my gosh. I had 2 Diono Radian 3Rs come in a VW ID Buzz. And I just had to, so the one that came in booster mode, when we had to reconvert it back to harness mode, so the dad had done it, right? Like, so the night before he'd like taken off the harness, and I hadn't seen a Radian 3R in like a long time. Like we don't, even being in Seattle, like we don't really see Dionos that often. And so he starts converting it back because he luckily brought the harness with him. And he whips out this tiny screwdriver. And I was like, sir, what are you doing with that? And he was like, no, I swear this is legit. And I went and to like find a video on it because I was like, there's so few things that you have to do on a car seat that actually involve a screwdriver that aren't turbo booster screws. And lo and behold, there's Diono coming in with, you have to unscrew this ridiculous tiny compartment. And I was like, guys, Diono, like, why are you doing this? Please.
Yep, we've always had screwdrivers in our tech kits for those two reasons. Turbo boosters and Dionos.
I mean, for me, it's always about the turbo booster. I just want to give a shout out to Julie Gregory, because apparently it was Julie who was talking to James at Kids in Motion, and I was standing next to him. So Julie, thank you. But where has this information been for the last 25 years? Because this is not something that somebody once told me and then I forgot. But we harvested 20 screws out of 2 old nasty turbo boosters that were like
harvesting locking clips. Like,
that's right. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
shout
what?
out Julie. Thank you.
Becca had a fun one saying, how do you pick a car seat for your kid as a CPST? And I thought that was such an interesting question, because I did do this recently when I had my youngest, who, I mean, okay, recently, it was like almost 2.5 years ago, but like pretty recently, more recently than Holly or Emily.
Right.
More recently than Kecia. And I went through the same thing because, you know, we know about so many seats that are out there, and how do you like narrow it down for you? So like when I was trying to, because it seems like impossible, because like, you know, even more than the average consumer, like how are you supposed to pick? So for me, when I was doing that, it was, I was like, what do I really want? Right. Just like when I would go to a caregiver, I would find out from them, what ease of use features are you interested in? Do you need anything like extended rear facing? Are there any safety features that you really want? And so I went through that same checklist with myself, like as if I was doing a seat consult for myself. And I was like, you know what I would really love is, you know, my oldest is in a marathon. And I love that click tight install. I'm a tech and I don't want to be like spending all this time fiddling with my own car seats. I love that click tight. I would like to get another click tight car seat, or a car seat that has a similar kind of belt tensioner lock off. And then I kind of like went from there, and I ended up with a Poplar, which I love now that I've taken the insert out that you have to use up to 22 pounds, because man, that thing was really annoying it keeps sliding around. That's the one thing I did not like about the Poplar early on, but now I love it and it's really comfortable. My kid loves it. But that is interesting. How did you guys tackle that when you were like buying car seats for your kids as techs? I mean, Emily just has a closet full of boosters, but
I do. But like when I was buying like harnessed car seats for my kids, I did not do enough homework. I was not a tech and I did not do enough homework. So I ended up with a 22-pound limit rear adjust harness infant seat. And I had 9-pound newborns.
It's the rear adjust. It's like, ooh.
And then the first convertible I had was a big old My Ride 70. And it was okay rear facing, but would not have fit in my car. Like, it was a Jetta I was driving. And I realized, like, because it didn't, and the J-hook anchors, when we started having to move it like between my car and like my husband's truck, sometimes it was a pain in the butt. And I think the first time I ever did a Target trade-in, I took that big old My Ride in, and I came home with a Milestone because it had push button anchors.
Yep.
Now, granted, that My Ride, I used like a registry discount and gift cards from my baby shower, and I think I only paid like $26 out of pocket for it. But the Milestone with the push button was way easier to use. And then when I was ready to upgrade my younger one out of that, I just got the same seat. I got a second one of the same seat, one less thing to, learn how to use. And then by the time when I turned him forward facing, we put that one in my husband's car for him and just left it in there and just got a dedicated booster for my older one. But I didn't do enough homework because I would have probably sprung for something with adjustable reclines, something with push button anchor connectors for ease of use, you know, but I didn't do enough. My infancy had owls on it and it was cute. But
that's a good part of it. Like, do the same homework that you would do for a caregiver. Like, pretend that you're you, or that you're a caregiver coming to you for help. Like, do you have a smaller vehicle? Are you going to rear face for a long time? Are the front seat passengers tall? Are they short? Like, you know, aesthetically, what do you want? I mean, you know, we can't all be Holly Choi with her beautiful white Kleck Foof snow fashions that never get dirty somehow miraculously.
Honestly, that was a factor for me too, because we live in the country. We get dirty. I don't want light colored seats.
Listen, it's not, my child is feral. It's not about that. It even got mud on it. It's that their cleaning kit, the brush plus the Krypton fabric, those two things, it just brushed out.
Okay, that's good. I wondered if that was a gimmick, to be honest. So that's good to know that it actually works.
Yep, it's great.
All right,
Duly noted. Someday I will touch a Kleck. I swear someday I'll touch a Kleck.
I haven't tried it with any merino wool, though. I'm just going to put that out there. I haven't tried it on railroad. It was just the Krypton fabric. So
here's Becca saying, so she's a newer CPST trying to decide to do more of what we already have or expand our collection of seats. Okay, yeah. So that's, I can see that. And I waffled with that a little bit. Like, okay, like I already have a Britax click tight seat. What if I tried something else? Ultimately, for me, when I was deciding, I went for ease of use for my own daily life over like accumulating another seat for my collection just because it was a seat for my collection. Like I needed something compact. The e-tron back seat is not huge. You know, so I just kind of went with what I knew was going to work for me. Yeah, I can see why you'd want to, but honestly, I think ease of use every time. Go with something that you're actually going to like and want to use over just getting something because
just to get it because it's cool or you want something different. You're still a parent. Do what works for you.
Yeah.
100%. And also, like, sometimes you're not the only one using that seat. You know, sometimes dad may have to put that kid in that seat, you know. And my husband, he's so funny. He can like build you a house from the ground up. Like he'll do everything to build that house except the electrical work. He doesn't touch electrical work. But he literally, like, he could build the house from the ground up. That man never learned to use a car seat the right way. And I kind of wondered if that was just his way of like digging at me. I don't know. Like, but I had to give him the seats that were idiot proof. So to the extent that was possible, I had to give him the easiest possible seats to use. I can use anything correctly. You know, I don't necessarily want a harness adjuster that I have to pull, you know, 3-4 times to get it tight. But I know that if I needed to do that, I would do that. But I know that my husband would not yank on something 3 times to get it tight enough. So, you know, consider who else is going to use that.
That's a good point.
For your child. I personally, like, my thing always and still to this day, I want a harness adjuster that is smooth like butter.
Oh, yes.
Give me smooth like butter. Like I don't like those old Radians where you had to, you know, they were you have multiple times to try to get it. Like I don't want to do that. I want to pull with one finger, and the harness gets snug.
Can we talk about that? Because I see a lot of Up-A-Baby seats at the check events that I do. And the infant seats are just like the Up-A-Baby harness pull is so hard. It's like you have to pull with all of your body strength to get that harness tight on a Mesa or an Aria or whatever it is. Like it's just the hardest infant harness pull that I've ever experienced.
Have you ever seen a caregiver punch their baby because of the Mesa chest clip?
Where it's the
no, because
it's
I see
rounded and they'll have it tight and then they go to push it up and their hand slips and they just it became a thing for me. I would start telling people like, hey, like don't punch your baby in the face. So like just be aware, like do a little 2 thumb wiggle from under. Like I had to start telling people that because I saw someone punch their baby in the face and I was like,
it's so hard.
Why do we just clip? I don't know.
I don't get up in my area. If it's not like a Walmart or Target seat, I'm probably not going to see it at a check.
Yeah.
I get that the continuous harness where it's down the one side, under, up the other. I get that that's probably cheaper to do, but it's the uneven straps where we got to pull it like a hoodie all the dang time. I wish there was a better way that still kept this cost efficient.
Yeah.
You almost want to, like I wouldn't, but you almost just want to take a piece of duct tape at the bottom and just duct tape, because it's got to come out the bottom of the shell and then come out the other side. I literally just want to get them equal, put a freaking piece of duct tape. I'm not telling anybody to do that. I'm just saying, like, in my mind, I'm like, a piece of duct tape would solve this problem.
Well, I mean, Graco did that with the Extend-A-Fit, didn't they? Didn't they put like one of those little seatbelt holder clip things, and sew it onto the middle of the harness? I'm pretty sure they did.
Wait, what are we talking about?
So you know how that little flap of seatbelt that holds the latch, keeps the latch plate from sliding all the way down?
Convenience loop.
Graco did that with the Extend-A-Fit, except right in the middle of the harness, the lat belt.
Julie says it's a little tab and it doesn't work.
Okay. Jack is literally pulling it out because I'm so confused. I have no idea what you're talking about. So Jack just grabbed somebody that was in a pile over here.
Yes, let's pull out an Extend-A-Fit and see what we're talking about here.
The continuous webbing I had, this was like my early, like right when I first got certified, I had somebody with a Sure Ride that had zip tied. They thought that the splitter plate was the problem for the harness becoming uneven, and had zip tied the metal splitter plate to the bottom set of harness slots on that Sure Ride.
I remember you telling me about that.
And then called for help because they couldn't tighten the harness. And I'm like, well, because the thing you need to pull can't move because we zip tied it.
Well, I just learned something. I just learned that the Extend-A-Fit has this little sewn-in thing at the bottom. I never knew that was there.
We're learning something every day.
I'm like, what? Yeah, okay. Learn something new.
Michaela says Durrell's adding convenience loops to some of their seats as well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see those on the hip straps especially.
Hips, I think the Light Max Next, I think at the hips has something similar.
Yeah,
I have to say, my preteen installed that base in less than 2 minutes. That was his very first car seat install. Was that Revolve 180 base?
Which one? Light Max Next?
The Revolve 180 Light Max Next seatbelt with that lock strong. I stood there and talked him through it. He did it in less than 2 minutes.
It's like, a really great install. My only beef with that product is that the harness straps are super twisty, like super twisty. Like that's they really they even flow. Sarah, you listening?
Sarah, if you're listening.
I'm sure Sarah has already provided this feedback. But I mean, even in just trying to get models in the seat to take pictures, right? And I'm super careful and I know what I'm doing. The straps, look at them and they just turn around in the buckle. And it's super annoying. And I know that parents will just have twisty straps all the time. So I think if they could remedy that issue, even obviously changing the harness webbing would resolve that, but it's really just a matter of the diameter and the thickness of the webbing and then the opening and the buckle tongue, right? When the buckle tongue opening is too large for the webbing, and then it's just so easy for it to slip. But there might be other ways, like by using soft goods or things like that, where they could cut down on some of that, because it's really
not by putting buckle buddies on them.
Buckle buddy.
I'm still a little,
That is interesting. I am interested to see what happens with that, because I think we heard right now that the Kids Buckle Buddy will be shipping with Kids Embrace seats.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder.
I do like the concept, right? I think it makes sense. Anything that makes the harness less prone.
Just don't add stuff to your seat if it didn't come with it, please.
I think that's the concern.
I don't love the material that it's made out of. It was stiffer than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be more like silicone, and it wasn't.
No, it's really stiff. Yeah.
And so I was like, but I think it's a great concept. And I do think, again, that there are seats less nowadays. I mean, in the old days, you had those like Century car seats that like you even just looked at them and the straps twisted into like rope-like
I came home from the hospital with 3 car seats. So.
And I think that the majority of our seats nowadays are not that twisty, but we do obviously see that some products are just more prone to twisting. And we know that caregivers often are just in a rush. And so, I mean, seeing twisty straps on harness seats is still pretty common. So anything we can do to cut down on that is great. And like I said, I like the concept of that product, but I don't know.
I feel like it's going to turn into that like Duna sensor safe situation where they're like, maybe this is a product that's not such a bad add-on product. But again, like if it's not in the manual, if it's not approved, it's not.
Yeah. Sense alert. The sense alert.
Yes. Sense alert. Thank you. Not sensor safe. I'm so sorry. Yes. Sense alert. Thank you.
Like, yeah.
So, yeah. Like they might test it, but like if the manufacturer doesn't test it,
if the trying to use it on doesn't approve it, don't do it.
So, right. Because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, it's always going to be your fault because you added a non-regulated product against the manufacturer's instructions. So you have to be willing to, if you do something like that, you have to be willing to accept consequences. Like it makes me think of something that Emily was saying earlier about the revolving seats, right? Okay. So, I was one of those parents who was terrible about remembering to buckle my kids' boosters in. Like I tried to get latchable boosters for that reason, because I knew I wasn't good about remembering to buckle them. The kids weren't good about remembering to buckle them. But there were times when I had loose booster seats in my car. And if I ever were to crash and get, knocked in the head with an unsecured booster, I'm not going to blame somebody else because I did that. I can't complain that that's a defect when, and so if you leave your rotating seat sideways when your kid's not in it, and then something bad happens, you don't get to blame somebody else.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like, let's be real, like Kecia, I treat my right guide like my third child because I know my younger one's going to need it.
Right.
Did I ever buckle that in? I'm going to be straight. I'm going to be totally serious. I don't think I ever once buckled that empty right guide in. So CPST confessional. Right behind my seat and I get whacked in the head with it.
Right. If you get whacked in the head with it, you're going to be like,
I'm just going to Emily. I get whacked You're forgiven. Empty right guide. You're forgiven.
Yeah.
Thank you, Holly. What's the car seat sign that's like the equivalent of that?
Yes, and then there has to be something comparatively like I can't tell you to do certain Hail Marys and certain amount of Our Fathers, so there has to be like some
related
thing.
Yeah, you have to do.
You beat yourself with a pool noodle.
Better than being pelted with locking clips. So.
Oh, this is true. I mean, locking. I'm just like picturing like throwing locking clips like ninja stars, right?
It would hurt. I wouldn't do it.
That would not feel good. Yeah, I would not like that. No,
that needs to be a game. We need to like.
Hey, no, we already came up with the best game, and that's car seat cornhole.
Yes.
And then I forgot to bring a beanbag to Kim, so we didn't get to play car seat cornhole. But that's where you toss the beanbag into the cup holders.
Oh my goodness. I love that so much.
It's so good. It's really hard, or I suck at it. One of those two things is true.
And I wonder, would Draco's square cup holders be better than the average round cup holder? Would that increase your chances if you?
That was not one of the options at Jamie's event, so I don't know. Got to do it for science later, I guess.
Yes, next conference. Or in your garage.
One of these days on a future live stream, I literally have a box of cup holders. I have some idea which ones some of them belong to, but then others I'm like absolutely clueless. So maybe we'll like play with like who knows what this goes to.
It's like
just bring Julie on and she'll tell you.
Yeah, you know what, Jack? It's a box right over there full of random cup holders.
Okay, so I put painter's tape on all of my accessories.
Yeah, well, like those are easy.
Painter's tape and Sharpie.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, and right on there.
This is the easy one. So I think you guys will guess this. There's holes in the bottom.
Is that a even flow booster of some sort?
Not a booster.
Oh, the Sonus or Yes.
Sonus 65.
I've never seen that color.
These might have come off of the Stratus,
Canada.
the convertible that Evenflow doesn't make anymore, but it was kind of like an upscale Sonus.
Were yours elasticed in the way that ours are?
I don't think so. I don't think these were, because they popped out super easily. Like they were the kind of thing that you knew your kid would lose in like 3 minutes.
I believe our cup holders were gray and they have like an elastic band that goes around them.
No, that's too easy.
That's too easy. Oh my.
Oh.
Yeah, what are the?
It looks so familiar.
Can I see the attachment?
Oh man.
So it just slides in.
You have a cup holder.
I don't know what it says in here. It says.
Is that a Harmony?
No hot liquids less than 12 ounces.
Oh, it sounds like Evenflow, but to me it's giving Harmony, but I can't tell.
I think it's off of a Kiko product, but I could be wrong.
You don't even know. You're like, what is this? And we're like, I think as if you knew. She's honestly just asking us, guys. She doesn't know.
But see, Kate said Kiko too. I think Kiko. I think this came off of a fit or something like that.
Show me that. If it had a black or a gray inset, it would be a Next Fit.
Oh, so there was something that went in there. Okay.
Okay. Like, where's the rest of the cup holder?
Oh, that's Diono.
Is that a Diono?
That's Diono.
It does have big Diono vibes.
Yeah. There's more. I'll save them for the next live stream. Thank you. Thank you all for playing my game. That's what
I just love that there's, if anyone like on the chat is not familiar, there is a whole Instagram account where somebody is cataloging the inserts. Like,
yes, I do know them. They're techs that are local to me, so I see them all the time. They're doing great.
So if you're ever like, what does this go? It's literally just car seat inserts is the account, right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look it up right now.
We should start that, but just for like random car seat parts, like.
Yeah, car seat inserts is the account. You can go there. You can take a look at their like, their grid or whatever.
So I don't know. Do they still use these on Go Time? This one was off of an amp. Yes. So it's still the same thing on Go Time.
It's the same on the Go Times. Kikos are still orange. Even flows are gray. Graycos are red. Joys are gray. And Joys have a different attachment where it's instead of a loopity thing, it's like a butterfly of webbing that shoves in a slot.
So, fancy. Oh,
it was different.
Julie says she got one on the All Four Stages yesterday. So you get Julie, you got the clip, the shoulder belt guide. Yeah.
With that 60-inch backless booster mode. So, sorry, I like 60-inch limits. So.
Yeah, I mean, although honestly, if your kid is 5 feet tall and also sitting on a platform, Kiko.
Right?
Yep, Kiko.
Britac.
It's an Emmy chest clip, so it could be Britac, it could be anybody who used.
This is a crapshoot. Who knows?
Yeah, no, it's a rando.
Yeah, I have car seat parts that I've harvested.
They're carefully filed.
I have one of the D-rings for the rear-facing tether.
Is that a safe stop?
It
is a safe stop.
It's a safe stop.
Yep.
So beautiful.
Listen, when I used to teach car seat classes on Zoom for that, can't remember, Latin American company, I had these all ready to go in bins so that I could explain what the different parts were for. So that's why it's all organized.
I feel like Denise would be very proud of you.
Denise
that sounds like a very Denise thing.
Is very proud.
It's one of my greatest joys in life is that Denise is proud of me. Yeah, I got different connection styles.
Yeah.
And then there was one piece of webbing that I managed to connect a chest clip to so that I made myself the adult harness for demonstration purposes, if we recall.
Very good.
And I have a special BC injury prevention unit labeled Rescue Me.
Ooh. Very nice.
I know. So exciting. No one else cares about this bin, so thanks for...
Oh, look at Courtney Berry.
It was for a next good sport. Woo! See, I knew
Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney.
I love that. I also love that immediately as soon as we saw that first chest clip, we were all like, Kiko, that's a Kiko chest clip immediately.
So Julie Gregory sent me a picture. She had a couple of different basically D-ring, what we would call D-rings. They were, rear facing tether attachment points.
Yes.
Right. And so she had different styles. She had like the original Britax style and then the Diono one. But then she had one that, so the length of the strap was about the same, it's about 12 inches, and it had the original D ring where it was like a rectangular shape on both ends, but on both ends.
Both ends.
And I was like, what's that one for? And she's like, I don't remember. And
I came off a peg that came off like the peg Piaggio, whatever their convertible was. I had a side of the road special, but it wasn't both ends like that. I wonder, would it be in like an extender of some sort? No.
An extender. Oh, hold that thought.
Like a tether extension?
Oh, while Kecia goes, so Courtney had texted me, but my phone is being my microphone, so that's why I didn't see it. She said, let them know that the reason the buckle tongue in the harness interacts that way is because that's how the designers who make it do it. So like IMI is the one that does that. So like the brand may not actually have control over what that is because they're buying their parts from IMI, right? So it's not necessarily like we should, send our pitchforks over to to the brand. We have to talk to IMI about more things than just the IMI Go, apparently.
Rounded chest clips.
So I don't think it's an extender, although that's a good idea. Wait a second.
I'm just thinking of
Julie, is it possible, didn't Britax make something so that like if you had a Frontier and you had a narrow seat back and then the V-shape versus tether would kind of fall off?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was an extension. Yeah, they had an extension.
Do they still make? I think they still make that, don't they?
We do.
They do the
Y. Turned it into a Y. Yeah.
A Y. Yes.
We just talked about this at Kids in Motion.
Yes, we did.
Okay. So I found a tether. Yeah.
Emily.
Who said they do, but it has a hook.
Googling
it. We just talked about this. It's like, well, did we?
Everyone. All of us.
Okay, I guess
we
were all sleeping.
I found a tether extender, which I'm pretty sure is a product, right? Because Evenflow was known for having, some of their previous iterations of seats had rather short.
Still have them.
So you still have them?
If we have, so like I had somebody actually via TikTok message me that they had a Revolve. They were trying to put in an XC60 where those headrests are like that hard plastic cutout and couldn't fit. I said, call Evenflow or send them an email. They'll talk to you about a tether extender if that red hardware doesn't fit.
That's so smart to use it in the Volvo when you can't fit the hardware underneath. Oh, I hadn't considered that. Okay. That's good info. Good info to remember. All right. Speaking of remembering.
Is that a mighty plate? Look at that little bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
Michaela just sent me a picture of a tether extender from a Churchill. So apparently those are also.
Got it.
Also what?
They have tether extenders for their stuff too. That's a Merritt Churchill.
Got it. Okay, but it's not the D-ring with the. It's not the strap with the double-ended rings. Yeah, I don't know.
That's got to be some kind of an extender or an adapter of some sort, and it's going to make my brain. Want to know things.
Yeah, honestly, like we should offer some sort of prize to anyone who figures out.
Post it in like Chatterbox and see who can.
Identify
it.
Wait, Kate, are you asking if that Mighty Tight was a seatbelt winder? Because no, ma'am, it was.
It was a seatbelt breaker.
Yeah,
accurate. It was very effective. You know, the problem was you could just go crazy with it, right? And like you know, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it did what it was supposed to do, right?
And this is a Diono product, right? Or Sunshine Kids product?
It is, yeah. And this one actually is Diono.
Diono. Okay, so this was a Diono product that they sold.
Yep. Yes, and that they approved for use with Diono products. And I'll be honest, there were some Radiant installs over the years where I could have used one of these.
I would bet. I would bet.
I know. I was just thinking that the other day when I was installing that Radiant in with a seatbelt, and I was just like,
I broke the latch plate in my husband's old pickup truck. He had a locking latch plate. I broke that locking latch plate trying to get Radiant installed rear facing in that truck. And then, of course, I didn't cop to it. He's like, what happened? I was like,
How would I hurt a seatbelt? I'm the last person that would hurt a seatbelt.
I got like the random locking latch plate trivia for you, Kecia.
Yep.
Well, I drive a Dodge Journey and I have a center seat belt with a locking latch plate, and the two outboard are locking retractors. If you ever encounter a Dodge Magnum, it is the opposite. The center is a locking retractor and the two outboard are locking latch plates.
Interesting. I don't recall that about the Magnum.
I had to pull that manual with somebody the other day, and I was like, well, that's interesting. That's the exact opposite of my current Dodge.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, you know, Dodge was famous for putting the locking latch plate in the center position, like the Ram up until I think the most current generation of Ram, which started in either 19 or 20. There was always the locking latch plate in the center seating position. And then even like the
Caravan still has it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm in a 19 Journey and it still has it, but like the Caravans, the Town and Countries, that third row center, people go, it doesn't lock, but here's where the tether anchor is.
But they've gotten away from it. Even like their new minivans now have a switchable retractor in that third row center position, like the new Voyager, and I think the new Pacificas. Yeah, they've done so. Even Dodge has gotten away from the locking latch plate.
See, and I like them for lightweight seats, though, because then you don't get that upward pressure from the shoulder belt.
100%. Yeah, locking latch plates were great. They were your friend as long as you knew what they were and how to use them. As long as
you know that is, in fact, locked. So
yes.
I didn't know that was what my car had until I became a CPST, and they used my vehicle for the demo during class. And I was like, oh.
We're always like, come here, we love you.
Yeah. The only thing they used my car for the demo was, oh, look, Brittany, you have overlapping seatbelts, because I have a 21 Hyundai Santa Fe, which has some overlap in the middle seat. And I was like, oh, okay, is that a good thing? And they were like, no.
Emily, you triggered me. You triggered me with that seatbelt thing. I had blocked something and put it in a box, and it was like really back there, and you triggered it. I once had to install a Radiant with that hard belt path rear facing.
Yes.
Like solid all the way through. Now I have tiny little hands, okay? But with an ALR belt. And where it meets in the middle.
Wow, fun. How did you do that?
Well, once we actually got it connected, which was, I did cut my hand. We then you just settled it into place, and it actually was pretty good. But getting it there.
So what I used to do was I would turn the seat sideways and then feed the seatbelt in using gravity. Drop it in.
Smart.
Right? Turn it sideways and then let gravity be your friend.
That is so smart.
Now, have they gotten it out of their vehicle? I don't care.
Right. Not a Holly problem.
It was 8 years ago, maybe even 9. I don't know. 10.
Probably still in there.
I don't care anymore.
I saw somebody on TikTok the other day, and I know we don't want to life hack off TikTok, but it was a Diono they were doing it with. They were trying to do a seatbelt install, but they couldn't fit their hand through the back. So they took the lower anchor belt and attached one of the anchor connectors to the latch plate of the seatbelt and pulled it through the back. And then disconnected it to buckle the belt. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually not awful. For as much as we don't want TikTok life hacks with car seats for the most part, that's actually not a terrible idea.
That is interesting.
I'm like,
that closed belt path is just the worst.
Oh, and then when you have to move the position of the crotch strap.
Oh no, forget about it.
You know, and there's a way, like if you fold it and you try to access it from the back of the fold, but even that's not, Can
I tell you that when I got certified, on the last day, you know, you're doing your check event, you know, as a novice, brand new tech to like get your certification, the first car that came through that check event for me was with a Diono rear facing in like a compact car, and it had the rear facing tether, and it was this whole thing. I was just like,
the universe hates you. No, I'm kidding.
And I'm in there like rear facing and like helping them install this thing, and I'm like, I'm not even like, oh god, it was.
As someone that has certified you in another country, I would not want you to be on that install.
Did they have too much detail? Because you said it was a compact car. Did they have the angle adjuster?
It did. It had the angle adjuster. They had it with them.
So that made the angle adjuster. Otherwise, the seat would be touching the front windshield.
Right.
And it made it a lot easier. We were able to do it, and I learned about, you know, Swedish style tethering. It was great. So it was really like helpful to like do it, but I was just like, I can't believe that this is the car that rolled in. And Holly, actually, they pulled it for me because, you know, Denise was one of my instructors, right? It was Denise and it was Wanda Yamashita, and they're like, oh, Britney, you do this car over here. And I was just like, cool, thanks, guys. And then I was like, guys, like
Britney doing her practice installs, most people would like spend maybe 10 minutes on one. Britney would be like, okay, I've got this book open, I've got that book open. And I was like, just finish them. I know you know what you're doing.
I'm so sorry, Holly.
She did not finish them. We finished them later.
When Jack finally went through tech class, his first car seat at the check event as a, you know, not quite new tech yet, special tomato.
Wow.
You had like that.
This one's for you. And he was like, yeah, you'll figure it out with manual. I mean, we didn't like just leave him high and dry. We gave him some support. But yeah, the first seat he had to do at his check event was
an adaptive seat.
A special tomato. And talking to Gary Scales from Merit, we had a laugh because I guess the first seat that he had to do at the check event after his class was a Knox.
No.
That's harsh. I think the first I did, it was a set of twins that were forward facing in their infant carriers that were about 2.
Wow. Okay.
So I did my cert course at Riley at the Children's Hospital. And we at least had a heads up. We knew they were coming. We had seats set aside for that family, and they were Magellans, which was also fun. But
you know what? That's good news that they came through, though.
It was. We're so glad that you're here today. I think that's the only thing that I would call not it on at a check event at this point is adaptive seats, because I have zero adaptive seat experience. But like anything else, it's like, yeah, sure. Yep.
For sure. Yeah. I see. Okay. I feel like I need to clear my name now because Holly's like out there telling everybody that I spend 4 hours on seat checks. I just want to be clear that I was getting certified in a new country, and I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything correctly, not just assuming that my American knowledge would transfer over to Canada. So I promise you, it doesn't take you
far. Even if I went up to her and was like, it's the same.
I know she did. I just didn't want to be like, you know, because Holly and I are friends, and I didn't want to be like, oh, like that person that's like not like a good student. Like I needed her to know that like I was a good student. I was doing my job. I was trying to impress Holly.
That's not impressive. I'm proud of you, but
in my US class, I got 100% on all of the things that I did. So like on all of my quizzes and tests and like all of my like, you know, hands-on knowledge, I'd gotten 100% in the US. So I was like, now I have like a standard to uphold. I have to get 100%.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I think this is like a good segue into, you know, when you have students in class who are slow because they're being thorough, right? Like that's a good thing.
Yes.
But at the same time, we can't be here at 9 o'clock at night.
Correct.
And so like how do you encourage people to keep moving along, but like recognizing that they're maybe slower than some of their other peers in the class because they're being super thorough. Like we appreciate that, but at the same time, we've got to get this done in X amount of time. And so like you don't want to throw them off their game by saying like, you got to keep moving, but like gentle prodding of like, because you can't read if you haven't been through the tech class yet, even though, you know, we're always like, read the manual, read the manual, read the manual. You cannot read the manual in its entirety, you know, for every station that you have to do skills testing for. But we do want you to go to the part where like, okay, I am rear facing in this convertible seat using seatbelt. Great. Go to the section rear facing with seatbelt. Read that. You don't have to start with page 1 and then read all the things about care and cleaning and maintenance at the end. Like I need you to be efficient.
So this is the thing with me is that I try to emphasize really early that the manuals are thankfully almost all kind of laid out the same. And I very much appreciate that we know that care and cleaning is going to be toward the end for the most part. There'll be a schematic of all the parts sort of toward the front after the warnings. So if I can go up to someone and say, tell me what you're looking for right now. If I can see that they've been looking for something for a very long time, then I can say, okay, it's typically in this rough area, at least get them closer to that point because they're not used to going through the manual. They haven't got that like, oh yeah, that's going to be like toward the end or that's going to be in the middle. So I find that a lot of it is, I do spend time before we even go outside of this is what it is, a manual, this is how it looks. And again, curriculum different. So I'm not telling you to teach differently. Don't interpret that, blah, blah, blah. But we do spend time on manuals and their design specifically so that people know that going into it.
And they should have had some opportunity to practice installs and also reading manuals. So during the practice time, that's a good time. Even if you just Post-it note that page and be like, all right, I've already inserted a little Post-it note there. You can flip directly to that page and just read that part. Getting them to understand that you don't have to read the manual from start to finish to get through the skills portion of testing. Because again, I mean, we'll generally allow up to 4 hours for skills testing.
Yeah.
But you got to get it done in 4 hours because nobody wants to be here at 9 o'clock at night. And we're using student vehicles. Like I can't hold up other people's vehicles because so there's like, I always appreciate students who are being thorough. They are often flustered because they see their peers and they feel like they are behind. Right. And then they start getting like, oh, I'm so slow. I'm behind. And I'm like, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. But like
a lot of their peers made good guesses at whether that seatbelt needed to be locked or not. Those kind of things where you have to go tell me where, like, did you check the manual? Does it say to lock the belt? I will do questions where they may not know what the answer is and I see what they answer with. So I always try to catch those people too, because a lot of people just start locking all the belts and it's like, well, actually.
So I did something in my last tech class that I hadn't done previously. And I wasn't planning to say this. It just sort of tumbled out of my mouth. And then there it was. So as I was prepping them for skills 2 stuff, and I was, we read them the whole thing that we have to read them. And then I was like, listen, guys, when you're outside and if you're on the forward facing station, if you don't tether that seat, it's going to be an automatic retry. Like I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't tether a forward facing seat, and I'm sure that we have picked vehicles that have tether anchors and all of those seating positions. If you don't tether the forward facing seat, it's going to be an automatic retry. And then the next thing that just came out of my mouth unexpectedly said, and if we don't see you reading the manual, that's going to be an automatic retry. And
one of my instructors,
they heard me, because for the first time ever, we had every student like, oh shit, I better read the manual. But then it took an extra hour.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We talked about that. The instructor team talked about it at the end. Like, okay, I didn't expect it to take that much extra time, and it did, but we all still agreed like it was worth the extra hour. So you're probably not supposed to tell them that it's an automatic retry if you don't see them reading the manual, but they took it to heart. They read the manual. And for me, that's a win. So I think
one of the instructors that I've worked with several times that's local to me, if you have a pickup truck, if you want her to do checkoffs for you, like for recertification, if you have a pickup truck and you have to tether in that pickup truck, if you do not either pull the physical manual or pull it up like on a phone, if you don't pull the truck manual, even if it's one you've worked in, dozens of times, if she doesn't see you pull that pickup truck manual for a top tether, she will not approve it. And I'm
Which is interesting, because if it's my vehicle and I know how to do this,
right?
Like
we're at like a high
volume. I understand what she's getting at.
Because the trucks are so ridiculous, but I have strong feelings. But
yeah, I mean, at the same time, if you demonstrate proficiency because this is your vehicle and you know this, I mean, I'll never forget the first time my husband came home with a 2006 Dodge Ram. And I was like, oh, I've heard something's weird or funky about the tethering, but I was looking at the manual and I was like, I don't understand. I don't get it. And I had to go to somebody else who explained it to me. But like, even with the manual, like it didn't make any sense what they were trying to tell. Also, not for nothing, I feel like a woman would have found a better way.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Like, really, guys? This is the best thing that you could come up with?
I don't mind the loops just because you don't have to fold the seat back and dig.
Right. I don't prefer that either. I'm saying there should be another better way.
Agreed.
I don't know what that is.
I hate to run, but I hear my kids screaming, so I have to go eat dinner with them. But thank you guys so much for having me.
Brittany, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that.
Right. Yeah, I'm probably running
CPS Week.
Okay. Yes, happy CPS Week, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
I'm probably running a little bit close to where I need to move on.
Okay, that's fine. We will wrap. Is there anything? Go through the comments. Is there anything here? Michaela says potential topic: occupant protection specialist. Do we want to go there?
I'm not participating in that.
Maybe we'll save that one for the next live.
I would recommend saving that one.
Plead the fifth.
That way we can give it the time that it deserves. Because I agree that it's been a hot topic lately, and I don't know that it needs to be something that people fight over. Like I can see different sides of that. I could see why. Yeah, we'll save that topic. I will go no farther. Michaela, good call out, because I agree that we probably should spend some time talking about that. And there's a discussion of switchable latch plates, which we really haven't seen in a very long time. Anyhow, how about quickly before everybody has to go, like, what are you guys doing for CPS Week?
I put in all my work hours today, so I don't have to work Saturday, which means I don't have to get up early and work before seat check Saturday. So I'm going up to the closest. I'm not running a clinic this year. I have to give my best yes to things. I could not give my best yes to running one this year, but I am going to go volunteer with one up in Indy. I may end up taking the lead on a lane depending on how many instructors we have, just because I'm a tech proxy and I'm Spanish bilingual. So
you speak Spanish?
Me?
I did not know that.
If I'm in person or like video where I can see faces, I do a lot better than like over the phone where I can't see your mouth. But I was an elementary school gen ed and ESL teacher before my kids were born.
I did not know that. Okay.
My grammar's not perfect, but I communicate and we get it done. So
yeah, same. I mean, you probably don't know this about me, but Spanish was my first language.
Is it really?
I didn't speak English apparently until I went to kindergarten.
Really?
My mother spoke to
I
me.
did not know that.
My mother spoke to me only in Spanish. Mi abuelos son de España. So my grandparents on my mother's side are Spain Spanish. And so my mom grew up in a household where everyone spoke Spanish and she can read it, write it, the whole 9 yards. She wanted me to have that basis for a second language. So she spoke only Spanish.
I tried to get my kids.
But we didn't keep it up.
See, I double majored in LED and Spanish. They ran out of Spanish courses to offer me in college, so I was 1 semester short of my bachelor's in it. I'm rustier than I was when I was still teaching and using it every day.
Yeah.
But once you get me at the seat clinic with a family, even if I can't remember the technical term, esta cosa, al nivel sexy.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
we get it done. We get it done. So that's what I'm doing.
I can't conjugate verbs to save my life, but it doesn't matter because they still understand what I'm trying to say. And they appreciate that I'm trying. And I'll often say, like, what is your word for this? What do you call this? You know, and so like they feel like they're helping and teaching me.
I do the same thing. If I can't remember, I'm like, ¿cómo se dice?
Right.
El caro.
Yeah. Right. And so, but like, even like the latch strap or even like what they call the harness, right? Para mí es arnés, pero para ti posiblemente es un cinturón o la correa. Like the word that people use to describe the harness is different. So I'll ask them, I'll say, for me, I call this a harness. What do you call it? And correa is like literally like a belt. Like a correa could be like a belt that holds your pants up, but like even like the latch strap, I'll call la correa de latch. And you know the interesting thing about Spanish is because there's so many countries that speak Spanish. You know the word for somebody. Yeah, right. The word that somebody might use from El Salvador could be very different. Ooh. Thank you. Could be very different from the word that a Dominican would use, or So I always just ask.
That's what I'm doing.
The word for this. How do you call this?
Yep. That's what I'm doing. Seat check Saturday. I have some I know the theme people are using is like superheroes, and I didn't so much focus on like the CPST role as much as like, you know, the superheroes in terms of like features of car seats, like the top tether, or
I like that.
Leaving your kid in a harness until they can handle a booster correctly. That harness is their hero because they can't sit right, you know? So that's kind of where I went with it. And I think I pre-recorded most of it. I think I've got one more, but.
Okay. Awesome.
You know,
Holly, do you guys celebrate CPS Week in Canada?
Yes, we do, but my answer is going to be really obnoxious. I'm not doing anything publicly. I am doing things I can't talk about.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'm doing so much good car seat work right now. So
yes, you are.
Good.
That's great.
Emily, shh.
Well, you're just like in general, the resource that Holly is for me, like behind the scenes is, so.
Also, I just want to say thank you to Emily Roberts while we're on a live for my Copper Titanic.
Because we're Titanic.
Because that's my special interest.
Oh,
and
is
I
it?
have to say, my husband found those somewhere because he does like the coin and like the buy-sell trade. He goes, "Don't you have a Titanic friend?" I'm like, "Hey, you've retained something." Yes, I do.
This is my third-class passenger blanket.
Like, I have a Titanic friend who needs this. He's like, yes.
They listen sometimes.
He has heard entirely too much about car seats in the last 5 years, and he puts up with me. So
I know. I feel like all of our spouses or significant others have all just
Kecia,
there was a point where my husband just, like in the beginning, he used to complain a lot. And then there was that point clearly where it broke him and he just stopped even noticing that maybe there were 4 extra car seats in the dining room that weren't there yesterday.
He did not complain about my amount of car seats. He has FaceTimed me. His company all has F-150 fleet vehicles. And he has FaceTimed me from a parking lot with a coworker's truck going, I know something's not right about this seat. He was trying to show him the top tether because he was like, hey, man, I know.
I got a guy for this.
There's something else that's going on here. And he will like FaceTime me and go, hey, what am I missing here? And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
I'm so proud. Yes.
That's awesome.
He did not know what he was getting himself into, but that's okay.
Heather, what's going on in Vegas this week?
We've got a class starting on Tuesday, which ends in a seat check, giant giveaway seat check on Saturday. So,
yeah. And so what kind of numbers do you do usually in these large scale events?
60 seats given away, usually 60 to 80. It just depends on who shows up.
Right.
And so
yeah, that's busy. That's good. That's a good turnout.
Wow.
And how many seats will you distribute on a day like that?
That's the distribution. So we'll check more, but that's the distribution.
Got it.
Wow.
Okay.
Smaller clinics in my area, we do by appointment. I'm not sure if we're appointments on Saturday or not. But like the Indiana State Conference, we do a massive seat clinic and it's very, very high distribution. And it's one of my favorite days of the year. But
yeah, we do these twice a year. So it's fun. It's a busy time.
You go home dead at the end of that. Yeah. I'm sure.
It's the kind where you go home and you can't really lay on any furniture because you're icky. So you just lay on the carpet.
So I'll tell you what, we got a lot of check events going on this week. I had one today. There's one tomorrow, but there's several on Saturday. But on Tuesday, I think it's safe to tell you guys, because I don't think anybody here is going to be in Orange County, New York, but we're doing an enforcement event. So it's going to be like a checkpoint on the street with law enforcement, but instead of looking for seatbelt violations or drunk drivers, they're looking for child restraint violations. And here's the great part. The great part is that people will have the option. They could get a ticket if they wanted to choose that option, but option B is you pull into that parking lot over there, and those lovely people are going to help you and probably give you a free car seat. We've done this. We never
gave them an option. They had to go in.
Well, we've done this in the past, but we haven't done it since COVID. The times we did it previously, there was only one gentleman who chose to take the tickets, and he had 3 kids in the car, like 3 small kids, and he was like, "Nope, I'm going to take the tickets." So there was obviously something in the vehicle that he did not want people to find.
Or he went to Taco Bell. And he just needed to get home.
They took their sweet ass time, and he was still there for an hour.
Oh no!
They wrote extensive blotters on each of his tickets. So he did not take the quick way back. And the whole time that he's sitting there while they're taking their sweet ass time writing blotters for each of these tickets, we were like, "Please, just let us help you." Nope. But most people will take the help. And so the last time we did this, we checked 53 seats and gave away 27 in 2 hours. And we are in a busier location this time. That time was literally just like a dinky side street, and this is going to be more of like a main street. So it's going, my hope is for organized chaos as opposed to just chaos. So yeah, hopefully next time we gather, I'll let you know how it went. And we have a lot of car seats. We're bringing bring a whole trailer full of car seats. And because it's public schools have the day off on Tuesday, it's a high holy holiday. I feel bad because I don't remember. I think it's Rosh Hashanah.
Why do they have school off on Tuesday?
It's a high holy holiday, so it's a Jewish holiday. I feel bad because it's either Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, and I feel like I should know which one it is, but I don't. It's Rosh Hashanah. Okay. Yeah, it's Rosh Hashanah. So our public schools will be closed, which just means that more kids will be out and about with their parents and caregivers during the day. So we expect there to be a lot of 5, 6, 7-year-olds who aren't in boosters. So we're going to show up with a ton of booster seats and a lot of other seats too, and hopefully have enough for everybody. And really the emphasis is going to be not on enforcement, but on education and helping people. So
nice.
Yeah. I'm going to be very tired at the end of that day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I'm looking to see, does anybody else? So Michaela says she has 3 events this week. Julie said she's got nothing. Had a few checks before and a few after. Erica, thank you for pointing out that it was Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, listen, I appreciate everything that all of you are doing. And sometimes it's not possible to do events because maybe there's just nothing going on in your neck of the woods. And I would just say, like, if you're able to get something going, even with a mom's group, I mean, you have to be careful when you're sort of out there on your own. First of all, we always prefer there to be 2 sets of eyes on a seat, but when I started this, there was really nothing. There was nothing going on in the area that I live. And so I was doing solo car seat checks with moms groups and whatnot, but I was diligent. I always kept good paperwork. If I wasn't sure about something, I would look it up. I mean, you have to be careful if you're working alone, but sometimes that's the only option if you're going to get anything done. So don't be afraid to do things on your own as long as you are taking extra steps to be a really good documenter and be diligent and just, sometimes don't assume you know things. Because I don't know that we really touched on this, but so many things have changed just in the last year, right? So you may have a product that you're super familiar with. Oh, I know everything about this seat because I own it. Okay, but this is the new model and this is different and this is different and that is different. So, yeah, just be careful because a lot of stuff has changed on a lot of products in the last 12 months.
Correct.
So Becca said, yeah. So Becca, if there's not much going on in your area and you're able to do some stuff on your own, you're going to have to pace it, try to do it by appointment, give yourself time. Because the worst thing that can happen is you're rushing, right? Because you realize, oh my goodness, there's 5 people and they're all waiting for me. And maybe you say to those 2 people like, hey, how about I come back to you next week? Because when you're rushing, like that's when paperwork gets sloppy, and that's when, in our attempt to help as many people as possible, we start cutting corners. So
get as much info as you can ahead of time. Like, I will not book an appointment with people until they've told me the year, make, and model of the car, sent me like a picture of the model label on their car seat, given me their child's approximate stats. I'm like, let me make absolutely sure that, are your seats expired? Or is this an appropriate seat for your child? Because if we show up to that check appointment, I don't have a seat to provide to you.
Yeah. That's the big thing, right? When you don't have something to replace it with, you kind of want to know going into it,
And if I spot that they might need a seat, I will tell them that. I will tell them where they can find resources in my area if they need help with that. And then there might be a situation where it's like, I'm sorry, there's not, if we have a more modern 2-seater truck that doesn't have the on-off switch for the airbag, it's like, I'm sorry, there's not a safe way for me to assist you with this. But I'll be upfront with them, but get pre-game, get as much info as you can, document as much as you can, and even consider things besides doing actual seat checks. Like, is there a local library that's got like a preschool or a mom's group story time, whatever, that maybe you can give a presentation? What other ways can you reach your community?
Yep. What happens though is you start off giving that presentation at story time, and then everyone says, hey, can you come outside right now and check my car seat? Like that usually one leads to the other. So you do have to be prepared for that. It is a crappy situation to be in when you realize, oh, this, like today we had that Triumph was made in 2010, right? Like I would hate to, sorry, it's the motion sensor. It thinks I'm gone and being energy efficient. Right. It would have really been crappy if I didn't have a way to replace that seat. And I'm sure, I mean, Grandma was a reasonable person. I'm sure I could have said to her, like, you need to go get this replaced. Right. And hopefully she would have had the means to do that. But it was so much easier for me to be able to be like, and here's a new Maestro. Yes. Yeah. But don't be afraid to be the one to get things going in your area. Because and then maybe if you do it long enough, then you pick up one partner in crime, because all you really need is one other person who shares your passion. Like 2 people can get so much more done than one person. Like there's no way that I would have been able single-handedly to do all the things that I've been able to do in 20 years. I needed friends. I needed other techs and other instructors who shared my passion, who were willing to go out of their way. And then once there was at least one other person, then we could get a lot done. Yep. But it is hard when you are flying solo. Anybody have any parting thoughts? Crickets.
Crickets.
Crickets. Crickets.
Chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp. Child Passenger Safety Week. Crickets. All right, guys. Yeah. So listen, we're gonna try doing these live streams on a somewhat regular basis. Next one will be sometime in October. I'm not exactly sure when, but we'll try to give everybody enough advance notice. How do you guys feel about like the Sunday night format? Does that work for you? I mean,
most of the time. Sometimes I have board meetings at this time, but
it really depends for me. So
yeah, right. Because I mean, we try doing these during the week. I mean, obviously, like webinars are usually during the week. The problem is, a webinar is, 45 to 60 minutes and you're done. And a live stream is more like 2 hours, 30 minutes and 18 seconds. And that's with us being brief. So I feel like these things lend themselves to evening times when people are home and have time to. Anyhow, thank you guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you to our amazing guests. We appreciate you. Appreciate the work that you're doing in this space.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate all of our long-term friends and our new friends. And please just keep following along, because you never know what we're going to talk about. All right. Peace out, people. I love you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.